What's up, bro?
How you guys doing?
I'm good. I'm good. And you?
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Awesome.
Logging in, you're ready to rock. Let's see.
Yes, sir.
Let's post this up. Let's get some people in here. Where everybody at though?
Late today.
You guys all have the links. Cool.
Hey, Carlos.
What's up, bro?
Hey, it's Daniel. You called me today. I was driving. I was going to showing. We've been texting for a few days. How are you?
Good, man. Nice. Yeah.
Good.
Miami, right?
Yeah, Miami. There you
Yes,
go.
right, brother. I was in Miami earlier this year in January.
Yeah. Oh, Miami's beautiful, man. I've been here for like 8 years.
Nice. Where did you come, or where did you move from?
I was in New York before. I'm from Peru. I moved to New York when I was 18. I was in New York for like 14 years. And I moved to Miami like 8 years ago.
No.
And I'm not leaving. I love it
I'm
here.
not leaving. I'd love to get a house out there, yeah, which I probably will.
Nah, it's beautiful here.
Okay.
So I'm a realtor here in Miami. I also have my own investments, condos that I rent, and I have 2 Airbnbs, but they're out of the country. They're not here. One in Mexico and one in Peru. And yeah, man, I'm on the real estate.
One in Mexico and one in Peru. That's
Yeah.
cool. Man.
Yeah.
That's so awesome, man. Do you have to do anything special for Peru, or just they have short?
No, since I'm born there, basically what I did, this was at the beginning when I was just starting to invest. I did a blueprint purchase. So they allow me 24 months to make payments, and I just gave them like a deposit for the contract, and then a down payment. And then I was over the next 2 years, I did like payments, 0 interest. Once the building was built and the unit was ready, they gave it to me, and then I put it on Airbnb, and it's been cash flowing. And the one in Mexico, I bought it cash, but it was $30,000 in Tulum for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, which is perfect because it's a vacation retreat, you know. So also Airbnb. I don't make a lot of money out of it, but the fact that I'm making passive income is enough, you know, and I have a place to go for vacation.
Right.
And
Yeah.
friends. Yeah.
Nah, that's cool.
And increasing in value, and at some point, if I need to pull out money, I can do it, you know.
Got you. That's
Yeah.
awesome, man. I
Yeah.
still want to learn to get like short-term rentals in different countries. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, at least if they have the tourism, if they have people going there, yeah, why not? Because the prices are so much cheaper than here, you know.
Oh, I can imagine, especially like we're pretty expensive in certain areas, like Miami, where I live in Palm Springs is expensive. Miami is expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually buying also a piece of land in Peru. So basically, what my Airbnb is producing is paying for the land. I've been doing that the same deal, like the developer. Same thing. They gave me 24 months to pay for the lot. It was $17,000, but I've been paying $300 a month for the last 24 months. I gave them a down payment, and I finished that also a few months ago. And now they're doing the, I don't know how you call it here, but they're doing the roads, the electricity, urban development, I guess it's called. I don't know, they call it like that over there. So I'm paying for that another $7,000 also for 24 months. I'm paying like $200 a month. And yeah, I mean, it's a long term, you know, but my Airbnb is producing the money. So basically it's free.
That's right. That's what's up. I like that. Nice, bro. Hell yeah. So are you busy right now with like realtor work?
Yeah, yeah, but busy is like I'm chasing my tail, because it's like rates keep going up. Buyers change their mind because it's too expensive. Renters, they rather, because the rents went up a lot here. But the thing is, like, renters call me. I'm like, oh, they raised my rent from 21 to 26, 27. I need a new place. When we go to see the new places, there is nothing like they have. So they end up like renewing their lease at a higher price. And there is a lot of people, everybody, I guess, from the whole country came to Miami. So there is very low inventory and a lot of people competing for houses.
Yeah, I can see that.
So like, I could be losing my. I mean, I don't feel like I'm losing my time when I go out because I'm learning all the time. But yeah, there is days that you just like driving there, driving here, driving there, and at the end there is no closing. There is nothing accomplished money wise. So yeah, in that sense, it's very complicated right now. But otherwise, yeah, the market's going up here. Everybody's coming here.
Nice, man. Nice. Yeah, it's like like California moved over to Florida.
Yeah, New York,
Moving out there.
Jersey.
Everybody, everybody. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can imagine New York too, because California and both New York are very expensive.
Yeah.
I can imagine a lot of people are. I know there are a lot of Californians are going to Idaho, going to Atlanta, going to Charlotte, going to Florida.
Yeah, everybody's coming here. And so yeah, man, I do that. I do my realtor life, and then on the weekends I'm a boat captain. So I work. I'm a like a freelancer for boat captains, but I have this boat that is mostly bachelorettes or big groups, 12 people, and I go on the weekend. I make some cash, and that's how I survive. I mean, more than survive, but I mean, it gives me the freedom of time during the week to do calls, to do real estate, to do showings, to meet people. Gives me the
Nice, bro.
flexibility. Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. Sounds like you got a lot of stuff going on. That's fun.
Yeah. I have a Frenchie as well.
Frenchie?
Yeah, I know you have 8. I don't know how you do, man. I have 1, and that guy is nuts.
Ace, come here. Hold on, literally my fucking French bulldog got stuck in between all the cables. Give me a second. Yeah. Okay. Gang, gang, she shot me down. Gang, gang. Bang, bang. Sorry, it's awesome. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. What up, what up, what up? How's everybody doing? Ready to rock?
Yep.
We're a little light today, huh? Everybody should post the link. Let's put it up on our page right now. All right, cool. What's up, Michael?
What's up, Carlos?
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing okay. So, update on that deal.
What's going on?
She had the wrong address.
Who
And,
did? The lady?
Yeah, the lady. She kept saying that was her property, and but we checked the county records, and no, it wasn't hers. And so I called her up, and I was like, "Hey, I thought we were talking about this address." And she goes, "Yeah, that's my address." And I was like, "But that's not what you're talking about, because an LLC owns that, unless it's your LLC." She goes, "No, I don't have a business or anything. It should be my name." And I was like, "Yeah, so which one's yours? Because this house isn't yours." And she's like, it's a vacant lot." And I was like, "We talked about a house though." And she's all, She's like, I talked to Jonathan about a vacant lot this whole time. And I was like, I don't know, Jonathan. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we don't even know fucking Jonathan.
Yeah, she's like, you didn't think you were buying a house for 12,000, did you? And I was like, I thought I was going to have to tear down a house for 12,000.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah, tear it down or some shit.
Yeah, but I was like, well, now that we know it's a piece of vacant land, we're going to have to, go back and underwrite everything and see what we can do. And she kind of got short with me and was like, okay, bye.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
Oh man, that's funny.
Talk about a roller coaster.
Happens, bro. Happens.
Yep.
It's not even your fault at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, let's do this. Let's get into some role play. We're light right now, so it's cool. We can get a lot of people out of the way. We'll wait for some people to jump on. If they make it, cool. If not, who cares? Who wants to jump up? Or first, let's ask if anybody has any questions. You guys have any questions on certain deals you're working on? Any questions on creative financing? How to do this? What if this happens? Just shoot the shit, guys. Let me see if you guys need anything.
I do have a question. Since y'all are talking about tear downs, I had 2 calls yesterday and they were talking about tear downs. And my question is, how do you do creative financing on tear downs? Or do you do creative financing on tear downs?
The only thing that you would do, like if they're asking for a lot of money or some shit on that tear down, like they're asking so good amount of money, would be like a novation. Tear downs, a lot of people don't work on, mainly like new developers, shit like that. Because you're building from the ground up again, right? It's like a new build, basically. The best way to go would be, I think, getting it at like 20% or less of the ARV value, or novation, where how I think we were explaining yesterday. Was it where we talked about novation
Right.
yesterday on the Zoom?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I asked about short sales. Do you offer short sales and novations? Yeah, last night. So if it's a tear down and you're going to tear it down, so you're giving them the ARV of the land and ARV.
So you can look at it like that, the land, right? What's the land value? Because you're going to have to tear this down. And so you can give them an offer on the land value. And like how you can see the land value is one way that if it's in a residential neighborhood, is it in a residential neighborhood?
Yes, it is. And I asked them, I said, what are the houses around you for? He said, shouldn't you know that?
Well, how did you respond to that?
I was like, yeah, I do. I said, well, I said, I haven't pulled up your property as of yet. I said, but yeah, I can do my own comps. I thought maybe you would know the homes around you. I said, normally people that are, other people kind of know what's the home value is around them. And he was like, oh yeah. He said, but I don't.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. That's people for you. Yeah, so same thing like that. If you can't ask them, then just do your own research. What are homes in that neighborhood selling for? Like, I guess try to find the median square foot and find out what the houses are selling for, and break down the median, like price per square foot, and times that from the median square feet of the size of homes that are in the neighborhood. I forgot how they break it down and make it sound easier, but
Yeah. Oh, okay.
there's something I think where you're supposed to try to find them. Hey, what's the median house in the neighborhood? And if you find out they're going for 500,000, right? They're close to 1,800 square feet. They're selling for 500. 20% is where a new developer would buy, so they can build on it. And so that means you have to get it under 20%. So ideally, you want to lock it up under 18% so you can make some money in there.
So when I looked up on Zestimate, while I was talking to him, I quickly went to Zillow, and that Zestimate said 88,000. He's asking for 35,000. So I would take 20% of that 88,000. You're saying?
Nope. That's not what I'm saying. So
Oh, okay.
what I was saying was going to find out what all the homes in the neighborhood of where that land is, right? So it's in a neighborhood, kind of find out, oh, okay, you know what? All these homes right here are more or less 1,700 square feet. So probably average 1,600 square feet. You find out those homes are, selling at X amount per square foot, or that comes out to closer to 450 to 500 grand. So the homes are closer to 15 to 1,600 square feet, and they're selling for 450 to 500. You just got to get like a median, do approximate numbers, find your median, and then times that by 20, or like 16% or some shit, so you can have your wholesale fee in there. I'm not
Okay,
like a land expert, but I think that's the way they do it, something like that, similar
Okay.
to that.
thank you.
Yeah, no problem. What's up, Renee? Just seen your message. You guys have any other questions?
No questions. Just saying what's up.
What up, Playboy?
Not much. Just been working with this seller, trying back and forth about this contract, and I just got off the phone with them, and everything's all good. So about to sign this tonight, get that all finished up. He said,
He was cool. He was in the end. It went fine. It went well.
yeah, he said, well, Josh, I really want to close this deal with you. You guys definitely aren't the highest number, but I trust you the most.
That's right.
I was like, all right. I said, I really appreciate that, Paul. So yeah, everything's all good. He's getting the contract back over to me now. And then I'll have the TC look it over, and then we'll get her signed tonight and get EMD put in there, and then this game on.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Sick, bro. Super
work on
sick. You should even see if you could do short-term rentals out of them. That'd be so dope. Probably not in a hot area though. It's probably wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
They're not like in a tourist area, are they?
No. I mean,
Yeah.
not really, no. Not too far from downtown though. Like Cleveland.
Cleveland. You're gonna move into one of them?
No.
No.
No, probably not.
Cash flow them all. Yeah.
Yeah, just cash flow them all.
True.
I think we can definitely raise rent at least $100 a month too.
Yeah, more or less. Probably
So,
more.
Yeah. Yeah. We probably could do more, but I don't want to get too crazy for the area, and you know what I mean?
No, I got you. Cool, guys. Let's do some role play. Who's gonna get up in there first and be the end buyer? Who's ready?
I'll be the buyer, right?
Yeah, the
No,
buyer.
I want to be the one that,
No, you said it. No, you said
okay.
it. You said it. We heard you. I want to be the buyer. You said it. It's recorded.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So, thanks for being a buyer. Same thing. As yesterday, we're gonna keep the ARV at 500,000. 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2,000 square feet.
Hey, I don't mean to interrupt you, but sweet Scotty, holy crap. Oh, no, I don't know where that guy is. That you in that picture?
You're on mute, my friend.
You a gymnast or something?
I'm a yoga teacher. Always
Oh.
happy to entertain.
Dude, that is awesome. I just
What's
told
up, Scotty? Don't know
Whoa.
who you are, man. So nice to meet you.
Yeah, Zach just told me to hop on. I'm in another group with Zach, with Thatch's group.
Cool, bro.
Oh,
Welcome
nice.
to the squad, man. We do a lot of role play where we train acquisitions right here. We'll go for like an hour and a half. Then we'll start doing some live calls and put the skills to use, So we do that Monday through Thursday. Fridays, we do multifamily underwriting, and we're starting to implement on Saturdays where we're going to bring some educated guests who are going to come and just basically educate us on certain strategies that that's in their expertise. And so we're kind of just making it like a mentorship, basically accountability group, mentorship. We got some coaching in there.
Cool.
Hey, man, welcome.
Welcome, Scott.
Thank
Hey, come here. Malik, get over here. What are you doing? Sit down. Stop that. Okay, so now I just need a seller who can be a seller for me. Guys, get down. Get off me.
I'll do it.
All right. Who said that? Okay, cool. So we're gonna have Miss Ronnie. You can just call her Ronnie. She's gonna be the buyer, and you're gonna sell the house. The ARV, just so you know, is 500. It's up to you to ask for more or less, but 500,000 is roughly the ARV in the neighborhood. Your house, if she were to ask you, you know how many beds or bath, it's 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom,
Okay.
2,000 square feet, and you're ready to go. Your name's Scotty, her name's Ronnie, and I'm gonna put myself on mute, and Ronnie's gonna hit you with the ring, and you just gotta answer. Okay.
Okay.
Ring, ring.
Hey, this is Scotty.
Hi, Scotty. My name is Ronnie. I was hoping to find the owner of 123 Main Street.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, great. I was calling to see if you were considering selling your property.
I'm getting up there in age, so I was thinking about it, but I know the market just took a shit.
Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot. Well, I have a few questions to ask about your property. Did you have a few minutes?
Yeah, I got a few.
Okay, great. Could you tell me the condition of your property as far as if it needs updating or has it been updated?
I think it was updated like 20 years ago, but we haven't done much since.
Okay, so the roof, plumbing, all of that is 20
Well,
years.
Yeah, it's 20 years old. Everything's still working though.
Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your property? 1 being in bad condition and 10 being, pristine?
Well, I give it a 10 because I lived here for 20 years, but I'm not sure that you would.
But you're well taken care of. I know you have to have pride, ownership. When you take good care of your property, I would give it a 10 as well. Now, why are you, you said that you were up in age, the reason why you're thinking about selling. Do you have plans, goals of where you're gonna go?
Yeah, I was thinking about moving in with my son.
Okay, and how quick do you want that to happen?
In a perfect world, it would have already happened. I just didn't get to it while the market was hot.
Right, yeah. Yeah, everyone is saying the same thing because the market shifted. Do you know what you want or asking for the property, or have you thought about it?
I saw Zillow was like 500,000, but yeah, I haven't thought about it a lot. I haven't talked to any agents yet.
Okay, so that's what you were headed or thinking about listening with an agent?
Well, I sort of need some money, right? So I was sort of hoping to get my money, and then I'm gonna need like a month to take my money and move everything into my son's house. So that was one of the things holding me back.
Okay, so do you have a ballpark figure as far as how much that would cost? What is your walk away money? Have you thought about the actual amount that you would need to do all that?
The amount I want to walk away with, let me see. I actually own it outright, so.
So no mortgage. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I probably need at least 10 grand to move.
10 grand. Okay. So our business model is, we normally offer all cash, and where we would have to be is if it's all fixed up, your house is worth 500,000, then we have to take account into like selling costs, closing costs. That's gonna drop us probably to 350. And then I have to counter, since you haven't updated your home in 20 years, we'll probably have to do a total renovation possibly. I don't know, I'm just guessing. So I'm just taking the amount of square footage. And so I'm looking probably about maybe, you said your house is, what's the square footage of your house, 2,000? I'm
2,000.
looking at Zillow right now. Okay. And so I'm looking probably coming in at a cash offer at probably 250 as a cash offer. Would that be something you'll be interested in or entertain?
Well, let's see. To be honest with you, you're giving me a cash offer on the phone and you haven't seen the house, so I'm just kind of curious.
Well, I just did paper, I just did napkin numbers. So how we normally work the numbers with our wholesale, we automatically take 30%. We are that including selling closing costs. So you said that the ARV you saw on Zillow was 500,000, correct?
Yeah, that's
So I
right.
just immediately, I just did multiply that out and I got 350. Now I have to subtract the repairs. You said that you haven't done anything to your house in 20 years. So what I did was I kind of did a square footage analysis where I took probably about $50 to $60 per square feet and timed that by the square footage of your house, and I subtracted that from 250. So that's where I came up with that ballpark figure.
Okay.
And that is just I'm just telling you exactly kind of like where we would be if a cash offer was something that you would look at. Now, granted, we probably have to take other things into account. Do you have any thing that you own, like liens or anything like that on your home?
No, it's
It's free.
yeah, it's pretty clear.
Okay, now just throwing that number out at you, would you entertain that offer, or would that be something you would be interested in, or no?
I don't know. I don't think that's gonna do it. This is my last move, right? So I think I need a little bit more than that for my retirement. So all my money's kind of tied up here.
Okay. Now, I'm sorry. So we can explore other options that we have. We can do terms. I am so sorry. My Chinese food came. Could y'all hold for 1 second? I am so sorry. I forgot they were coming. Hold on for 1 second. Hey, Edward. Yeah. Would you get the food, please? Okay, I got it. I'm so sorry. The Chinese is at the door. The Chinese food is there. Okay, thank you.
Hey, Ronnie.
Okay.
Before you sorry to interrupt, before you go into terms, I want you to go and disqualify realtor, ask them to go with the realtor. And then if you find out they want to go that route or not, then you roll into, would you rather just keep this and rent it out yourself, put money into it yourself? You find out they don't, then go creative. Okay. You're doing a good job. You're doing a really good job.
Oh, thank you. Have you thought about, Scotty, have you thought about listening with an agent?
I haven't talked to an agent. The place isn't really in like super respectable condition. So that's one of the things that was deterring me from it. I'd rather sell it, just to an investor, but I think 250 is going to be too low for me.
Now, quick question. You said that you own it outright. Have you thought about just taking some money out, fixing it up, and then putting a tenant in?
Taking some money out, fixing it up, and then doing what?
Renting it out to a tenant.
No, I'm too old for that.
Yeah, okay. Now, other options that we can explore, have you heard of terms?
Yeah, I've heard of them. What kind of?
Now, what we could do, as you know, terms is a month-to-month over time, and you already said that you need 10,000 to move out completely, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so we can give you money now and then money over time monthly, and then at the end, we can balloon and pay you completely off.
Okay, so I'm 75 years old. How long is the balloon going to be till you pay me off?
Now we can go up to 10 years. Will 10 years be?
I don't
Okay.
think I want to wait 10 years. I might be able to do it in 5.
At 5, okay, so that's your number. Okay, 5 to 7 years. What about 7? Can we go up to 7?
That'll put me at 82. So you can make me an offer.
Okay, now, so we can give you what you need, 10,000 down, and then balloon out in 5 to 7 years, and then make monthly payment over time. Would that be something you entertain?
Yeah, I'll entertain that.
Okay,
If
now,
if you can give me more money, then I'll
okay.
entertain it.
Now you want more money on on the down payment or on the monthly?
No, $10,000 will do it. I'm just talking about the overall price of the house that I'm going to get ballooned out at in 5 years.
Okay, and so I don't believe we came with a actual price. How much do you want for your home?
I think 400 might do it.
400, okay. Okay, now this is the part that I get stuck. Okay,
You're pimping, man.
okay, so do you so if we can rent, because I have to cash flow, so if we can rent your house out for, and I have to check the do you have any idea, and I'm thinking, I know the answer to this, how much your house can rent out for once fixed up per month? Do you know if any of your neighbors are renting out their houses, or have you spoken to any neighbors about rents or anything like that?
Yeah, I do have a 4-bed, 2-bath across the street that's renting for 2,500.
2,500, okay. Now, if we can rent out, and after I do, more due diligence for 2,500, we could probably give you. See, that's the part I don't understand. We can give you a monthly payment from that amount. So so now you're the lender and I'm taking care of everything. You're not responsible for the house anymore. So you return it to the lender and I could probably give you maybe $1,000 a month.
Okay, so you're looking to cash flow. So you want to give me an interest. That's got to be interest only, right? You want to give me $1,000 a month for 5 to 7 years and then 400,000 at the end.
Well, it will be, since I'm giving you 10,000 at the beginning, that would be 390 take
Oh,
off.
gotcha.
And then you're getting $1,000 over 60 months.
Okay. Okay, $1,000 a month for 60 months. So that means I get 60K, and then I'm getting 390 at the
No,
end.
you're getting 330. Right?
Oh, okay. So you're saying that there's no interest and involved
I mean,
you're paying off principal.
right. Would that work for you?
I
mean, it's just mailbox money and you don't have to worry about anything and nothing. You'll be free. And then, if I'm able to cash you out earlier or sooner, then that's a possibility as well. But right now, we'll just stick with the terms of 7 years or 5 years.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, we had a miscommunication. I thought I was going to be getting $1,000 a month interest for the money that you're borrowing, and you're saying there's 0 interest and you're making the payments.
Where were you looking? Where were you thinking?
I'm thinking 10,000 up front, 390 in 5 years, and $1,000 interest a month for 60 months.
So you want 1,390, $1,390 per month?
No.
Okay,
Oh,
you want 390?
I'm saying if I'm acting as a bank, I want a little bit of interest on my money.
How much?
$1,000.
How much interest were you thinking?
What is that, about 3% interest? Or 4%?
Okay. 3 to 4%. Okay. Now, if it does rent for 2,500, I may possibly be able to give you interest on this.
Okay,
Because again, I have the cash flow because I'm using a lender as well. So I'm making kind of like 2 payments. So the numbers kind of have to make sense for me. But if I can, if the rent is correct, where I am getting 2,500, then that possibly will work with the percentage.
what are you using a lender for if I'm loaning you 390?
You're not loaning me 390. I'm paying you. I'm actually getting all of this from a private from my partners. So you're not lending me money. I'm giving you money. So I'm giving you 10,000 and I'm giving you monthly payments out of, from me. So what am I confusing you?
Yeah, I'm a little confused.
Okay, what are you confused about? Let me know where I kind of got stuck.
I think I understand the where you're going, that 250 isn't enough for me and you might be able to do 400. So if you want to just write it down for me so I can understand what I'm looking at and what our deal is.
Sure.
Or if
Sure,
you
I
want
can.
or if you want to come over, we might be able to make a deal.
Yeah, I'm just saying that if I do cash only, it will be 250. And if I do creative terms, I can come to your number at 400,000. And then we'll do $10,000 down. Then all I owe you is 390. And then we'll come up with the monthly payments. We'll come up with the monthly payments. And you said you want interest on it.
Yeah, so I can make that work.
Okay. And you basically, like I said, you turn it to the bank. So you are the lender, and I use a private money lender to fund the deal. So, and I would draw and then you would have your money that you need to close in order to move with your son.
Okay.
Okay, I'll draw up the paper so it could be a little more, because I'm very visual as well. So sometimes I need to see it on paper to be able to really understand. And if you have any questions, I will have my number and email and my contact information. And so, you can feel free to call me and I'll follow up with you tomorrow. How does that sound?
Sounds wonderful.
Okay, thank you, Scotty. I hope you have a nice day. And what's the best time to call you tomorrow?
Just like after 10 o'clock.
Okay, I'll call you after 10 tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Ronnie.
Thank you, Scotty. Bye.
Bye.
Fire.
I got so stuck. I got so stuck.
It's all good. You could tell, but you haven't been really putting in much practice anyways, but you sound like you know a little about what you're talking about. Good job. The only thing that he was right when, oh, what do you need a lender for if I'm lending you? He is lending you. He's one lender in the deal. You could have just answered, oh, I'm using a private money because I still owe you money. So I don't got to use my money to fund the deal. I can use somebody else's. So that was just basically it. Other than that, I was really good job going into creative financing. You're learning the lingo. That's where it's at. The next step for you is as you start to get real deals and you can analyze them, you understand that maybe you can't give them 400 grand. Maybe you can give them 6%, depending on how much you can cash flow, right? Like, though 6% isn't something ideal, right? My criteria is 4% or less, though I never bring up interest. All of it's negotiable. He said, you're gonna give me $1,000 interest only payments. I would have responded, hey, I wouldn't do interest only. It makes no sense for me, but I'm not opposed to doing interest. Let's figure it out, right? So that everything is negotiable. Oh, well, I want 8%. 8% is the market. Why would I go and do that? Get a brand new home at market rate myself. Let's do this. I'm not opposed to paying you 3 or 4%.
Okay.
Right. So the whole thing is about negotiations, but you did a really good job. And Scotty did a good job being a seller. Really good job.
Yeah. Thank you, Scotty, for throwing that. Because I got lost when you said I'm the lender. I'm like, huh? I don't know why that kind of confused me. And I'm like, okay.
It's a creative finance is not simple, but if you're talking about $10,000, the last thing I'm gonna want to hear is that you have to go borrow that $10,000 because I want to make sure that you're gonna give me the payments, right? You know, the last thing I want to do is be like trying to foreclose or collect money. So the $10,000, you should just act like you have it, even if you are
Okay.
borrowing it.
Okay, okay,
Because you do have it, though it's your lenders, you already know you have a pocket full of lenders ready to go. So you should know that's not going to be hard for you to find. Even if you don't have it, it's as easy as finding an end buyer, a note buyer, a seller. That's how easy it is to find money. It's not hard.
okay. So don't mention a private money lender, or don't mention it when it comes to the down payment.
Yeah, I bring it up. I bring it up once in a while when they start asking me for so much money. I say, hey, look, when you're asking me for that much money, I'm gonna have to use a lender and I have to make a payment to them. So I won't cash flow. Remember, my goal is to cash flow here. That's all.
Okay.
Though I know that I can negotiate a deal with my lender and not have to make a payment to him during the term. I could just balloon him. So I could just say that to give me more conservability on the monthly income that I'm actually gonna net in my pocket, knowing my lenders, most of them are cool with me not making payments during the term, just ballooning them in the back end, you know? So same thing with your lenders, you don't have to make a monthly payment. You can lock it in where they're silent, meaning I'm not making a payment during the 12 months they're lending me the money. I'm gonna give them a one-time check with their return on top.
Okay,
Yeah, you did a good job.
I say, or if you have to get money for repairs for it to start cash flowing too.
Right? Yeah, and you can even negotiate it too, where let's say because the first and second month after you lock it up, you're gonna automatically owe payments. Scotty wanted $1,000, right? So you can negotiate it where it, you know, in the seller finance, it's easier for you since there's no mortgage owed to them. It's easier for you to say, well, cool. I'm contingent to, you know, I'll make payments contingent to this place being renovated and rented out. So you might even catch yourself a window of 3 months there, and you're not gonna have to make a payment in there. Otherwise, you just get a lender and add those $1,000 per 3 months of renovation. And I need an additional $3,000 to fund the deal. Right?
okay.
Good job. Good job.
Hey, I actually have to make a phone call today, and it's along the same line. So I'll ask the question if you don't have anything else going on, but I'll shut up if you got other stuff to do.
No, go for it. What were we gonna ask?
All right, this is a Seattle house, 4-bed, 2-bath. And he owes like about 200, I think.
Uh-huh.
Zillow 932. I offered him like 700 on a postcard and he wants 800. So, and he offered to give me $3,500 a month rent because I was Zillow price, and he wants to live there for 5 years. So I've done this before, but not with such a difficult one.
He wants to live there. He wants you to lease it back to him.
Yeah, so I've done that before where I just buy the house from them and then I actually go hard money to long-term financing. So I'm wondering if I can basically, if I have an interest payment for $800,000, that's going to be like $5,000 at least. And then I've got $3,500 rent. That'll never work. But I'm just wondering if I can seller finance half of it, or I can seller finance like.
So you could do this. So in a scenario where you need to do a large amount of money down, is that what the homeowner wants? He wants a good amount. So in a scenario, what you would do is you would do it the Morby method, Pace Morby's method, where what you do is you get a non-recourse loan. So instead of, let's say he wanted 800 grand and he was open to terms and he said, I want 300 grand. And now you know that that might fuck up the deal.
Yeah.
Well, a non-recourse loan, what you're going to do is you're going to go and get the house appraised. Loan to value, let's say you can get 70, 75, or 80%, whatever that number is. Let's say you can get 70% of 800. Let me figure that out right now. Times 0.7. So you'll get 560 grand, right? So now you just pull the mortgage at 70%, more or less, because you can get 75 to 80% loan to value on an appraisal price. So it's on the appraisal. So non-recourse loan, you go get that. They're gonna, let's say they give you 70% minimum to be conservative. So now I have 560 grand. Well, let's just say he wanted 300. So now I have 260,000 extra.
Okay.
If he was open to a term, let's say he had given you, I'll give you 5 years. Well, in a scenario where you're gonna have to make a payment to him for 5 years, besides his $300,000 down, I would structure it like this, now knowing that you can do it like this. Hey, well, listen, Mr. Customer or Mr. Seller, the only way that I can actually do this and still make it cash flow for me is I would have to go and get a non-recourse loan, meaning I'm gonna have to go pull a full mortgage, have a full payment on that. So with the 560 that I'm gonna actually have, I'm gonna get an appraiser, whatever you tell them, I'm gonna get this appraised. You know what? I can get 70% of the, if it comes back to 800 grand or 900, right? If it comes back to 900, I get 70% of that. But let's just keep it at 800 grand, just so I'm already there. Well, he had a mortgage of 200 grand, more or less. He had a mortgage left, right?
Yeah.
So with that 560, I would tell him, look, with the 560,000, I would need you to clear the mortgage with it because this lender is going to sit in first position where that current lender is. And then I'll give you the $300,000 down. The only thing is I'm not going to be able to make a payment to you during the 5 years because I already have a full mortgage now with the new loan, but I have an additional 60 grand. Would you let me prepay the rest of the payments up front? You asked for 300, I have another 60. Let me pay you right now the remaining 60 because I can't pay you a payment for these next months because I already owe this new bank $560,000 a month. There's no way that I can actually cash flow. So the way it works is you go get a non-recourse loan, get 70 to 80% of the appraised value, and you have the seller carry the remaining difference, the 20 or 30% that you would still owe them. You have them carry that in a silent second position, no payments, and they're sitting behind the new lender.
Okay, so the non-recourse loan is from the seller.
No, the non-recourse loan would be like myinvestorloan.com. They're one.
Okay.
They're like probably I think 6% right now. They're investor friendly, but right now rates are high. So they would. It's I think contingent to like the property. You know,
What does non-recourse mean? Does that mean they can't foreclose on me?
I think the non-recourse is you don't have to. I don't know exactly what it means. I just know that you don't have to use your credit, put your own money down on things. You can always use lenders for it, and I think they have the first right of refusal if you mess up, right? Like, okay, cool. They're just the way they protect themselves since you're not putting your credit is that once you mess up, they just take it over. You lose everything you gave them down and everything. They just get to take it over. That's their house now. So no matter what, it's a win-win for them.
Okay, so I'm
Like
taking out
myinvestorloan.com, I think that's one that I hear all the time. Pace More we talked about. A lot of people use them, and I don't know the other companies, but there's a whole bunch of other companies you could probably look up, non-recourse loans, where they don't pull your credit and they just base it off of the property and the value of it.
Okay,
and
got it.
on it.
So tell me one more time. I'm borrowing 560. I'm giving in the seller
So
360.
yeah, so like let's say it can appraise for 900, right? I appraised it off 800 just because I forgot. So 900. So I would tell them, look, the only way that I can give you a large amount of money down and do this is I would have to give you more money than you're asking. This is how it would work. I would go and get this property appraised. Let's say it can get appraised for $900,000. Well, let's just be conservative, Mr. Seller. Let's say that I can only get 70% of 900 grand. Well, 70% of 900 grand is actually $630,000. You asked me for 400 grand. Okay. Well, I have 630. This is the only way that it's going to make sense for me to cash flow is going and do it this way. And now that I have 630, I'm going to give you 630. You're going to need to use 200 and pay your lender off, the guy sitting in first, because this new lender is only going to sit in first if he's funding this much money. So he's going to sit in first. Now I have your 400 grand that I'm giving you. I'm going to give you an additional 30 so I can prepay some of the payments to you because I'm not going to be able to make a payment to you during the term I have with you for the fact that I just pulled a loan for 630 grand. So I already have a full payment there. Can't make you another full payment.
Okay, so I'm giving him I'm giving him 560 now, and then I'm giving him another 240 in 5 years. Is that right?
So let's say it appraised at 800 grand and that 70% was 560.
Yeah.
You would give them the 560.
Okay.
Now, in a scenario where you needed some money to renovate it and didn't want to pull extra out of your pocket, you can subtract from the 560 and keep what's yours. Even if it was a good deal, man, you could have just kept some in your pocket for yourself. Like, let's say that he wanted 400 grand and you got 500 grand cash and you're able to give him 400 grand and still agree to leaving him in a silent position without asking him for extra money. You can keep that, though. You're gonna have to repay it to a lender or whoever gave it to you. You can keep that. I think it would even be like tax-free or some shit because it's part of like the loan, the lending and stuff like that, part of the deal. I forgot.
Will my investor loan let him take a second position on it? Do they allow that?
My investor loan?
Yeah.
I think the way it works is so I'm not 100% sure if it's you automatically have to. There is a way that I've heard about it where you can get my investor loan to give you 60 or 70 and you get a gap lender in there for a day to give you the other 20 or 30%. And then after the close, you release the gap lender, pay him his fee, and then you create a second position note for seller finance for equity. That's one way that I've heard of it. But I think that you can go straight off the bat and go, yeah, I think you can straight off the bat just give them, a hard money lender at first position and automatically have the seller go to second position. I don't think it's going to matter because the person in second position is equity. It's not like a lien on it, right? It's a created lien if they sell it on equity. But other than that, there's no actual anybody that they owe money to. It's just their house free and clear. So I think they wouldn't care because they actually have the first right of refusal at first position.
Oh, man.
It's an advanced strategy, that one right there. It's a lot to consume.
Yeah, I know. I think I went cross-eyed, but I'm just
You can
gonna ask.
YouTube it. YouTube Pace Morby method. He'll break it
No,
down.
I did just Google that yesterday, the Morby method, and it was the Morby method was like forming an LLC with them and then getting him out of the LLC for if they wouldn't allow the second position. But I just have to find out if what his requirements are going to be if he's open to it first before I.
You definitely have to overcome him going in second position for sure. That's one that some people don't like. They want to be in first, make sure they're the priority. So I wouldn't when I go in that call, I don't ask a lot of questions as far as when you don't want to hear a no to him. I wouldn't open up to like, oh, do you think that's going to be okay? You're opening yourself to a hard no. I would shoot it like this is what works for you. Let's make it work. And just say, let's make it work, right? Hey, this is the only way I'm going to do it. So, hey, Daniel, this is the only way this is going to work for me. So I'm going to break it down really quick. For me to give you that much money, I would run the spiel and say, look, this is the only way it's going to work. So the only way it can work is my lender has to go in first position. That means you're going to have to clear your lender out. He's going to sit there. You would sit in second position. And I probably wouldn't make a payment to you, but let me get to the reasons why. So I'd roll that into it. And I would then just lay it down and say, okay, that's the only way I can do this. And stay quiet. Don't ask them, but are you going to be okay with me putting you in second? You're going to get a fucking hard no. Because you're now making him think, why? Is there a reason I should be sitting in first? What if you never gave a fuck, never knew about first or second position, like most homeowners don't ever know? They never know. So you got to get in there and act like, okay, well, if you want that much money, the only way that I can do this is this. Otherwise, we're done here. So if you can give me 5 more minutes to explain the only way I can make this happen, this is the way it's going to work. There's no other way around that. That's the only way I can do it.
Yeah, I got you. I'm not worried about this offering him second position. I was just the only thing that I was worried about is that my investor loan wouldn't allow a second position because sometimes they won't allow a second position because he can still foreclose when it's not convenient for my investor loan. So they won't allow anybody.
Yeah, but he can only foreclose on his equity. Like he can only foreclose on the difference because you're going to give him the chunk of change difference. So his equity is a lot less than the purchase price. You get me? If you're giving him 560, you're the one cashing him 560. So now he only has equity and it's in second position. So I think even when you close with my investor loan in first position, the second position doesn't need to be there to be closed. It could be opened up after close.
Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
because it's a created position.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see who's going to be next on the role play. I got to run to the store real quick and pick up my dog's food. They eat all raw food. I'll be gone for like 10 minutes, but can somebody just once the role play goes on, if I'm not back in minutes or whatever, you guys just keep it going.
All right, well, I'll jump in.
Cool. Joe, Shane, Josh, you guys handle this stuff for right now. I'll be back in like 15 minutes.
All right.
Hey, dude.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, Shane?
Jane's out there too?
What's happening? No, I'm here. Got some skills?
You're
Nice.
doing the bong thing?
Huh?
The
That's a flower vase.
flower vase, yeah, right.
Shoot, who wants to jump on next?
All right, I'll jump in, you know, we gotta kill time, so might as well.
Giles, and who else? Anybody?
Yeah, I'll be the seller. Who wants to be the buyer?
Zach,
I mean, I'll be the buyer. Somebody needs to be the seller.
Zach,
Zach, you in?
Anyone who wants to jump in here? Don't everybody answer at once.
Oh, geez, we scared Zach out. He left.
Oh, shit.
oh, well, it happens.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be right back. There he is.
I hung up.
Yeah, he's like, yep, screw this, I'm out.
You
No.
in?
Yeah, man,
What do you
I'm
got?
win whenever.
All right, so you're the seller, I'm the buyer.
All right, be easy on
Yeah.
him, Josh.
All right,
That's
we're good to go?
Yeah, 400K
All right, ring,
ARV.
ring.
Hello?
Hey, Zach, how you doing?
Hello, mister.
Hi, hey, my name is Giles there. I'm a creator investor. And I saw that you you have a property for sale there at 123 Main Street.
I do.
You do, all right. And I'm just curious, why you put it for sale?
Oh, to get some money.
To get some money. I hear you. Everybody wants money, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what are you asking for?
I'm asking for 400K.
400. Okay. And let me question you about the property. What's the condition of the property?
The property is about a 6. It's been lived in, but it's in pretty good condition.
It's about a 6. So when was the last time it was renovated?
Uh, anywhere from 8 to 5 years ago.
Was it 8 or 5?
It's harder to remember. I've had kids since then.
You've had kids since then?
Yes.
When was your first kid born?
Oh, 5 years ago. So we're
5
looking
years
probably
ago?
about 6.
Okay, so it'd be 6 years ago that you last renovated the property, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what kind of renovation did you do?
Oh, we did new flooring, paint, and appliances, and a new furnace, and a new roof.
Okay. And during this time period, did you give crayons to your kids?
What was that?
I said, during that time period, did you give crayons to your kids?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, so they're probably gonna need some new paint, right?
Yeah, I believe so. The paint's definitely wore.
Okay, you didn't paint the floor?
No.
No? Okay, what kind of flooring did you have? Vinyl?
Yeah, quick snap
ceramic?
vinyl.
You put vinyl?
Yes. Pop and lock.
Okay, got vinyl and carpet?
Vinyl and carpet. Yes, sir.
Okay, so the carpet's probably gonna need to be changed, right?
Depends. It's rental ready.
Okay, yeah, well, is it 2022 standard? Is everything up to par? All your appliances and all that?
Yes.
Yeah, AC running properly? When was the last time that was
No
serviced?
AC.
You don't have any
Furnace
AC?
gets maintenance every 3 months.
Okay, furnace, but you have no AC, you said?
No AC. We're in Washington.
You're in Washington, so you got a window unit? I'm sure it gets hot over there too, right?
Yes, we got some window units.
Okay. And then, all right, so we don't have that. And the roof, what's the last time the roof was serviced?
6 years ago.
6
So it
years
should be
ago?
good for 24 years.
Okay, 24 years. That's pretty relative though, but okay. And so you say you're selling or what, you're moving somewhere else or? You're just
Yeah, I would
looking
like to
at
get a
money?
bigger house.
You're
I'd like
looking
to
at a bigger
upgrade.
house in the same area?
Yeah, leave the crayons here and just bring the kids.
You leaving the crayons taking the kids? That's a good answer. Shit, you stumped me with that one.
Well,
I
you
didn't
could always
expect
talk
that
me
stuff.
into a smaller house and leaving the kids.
Well, you know,
Then I
if I
could
can
have
get
some
some money
pocket.
for the kids, why not?
Then I could pocket some money and have a smaller house. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, my wife is listening. I gotta keep it on a down low. I know, honey. We're just joking. Get me in trouble over here. Damn it.
My wife can't hear me.
Anyway,
She's upstairs with the kids.
let me get back on track here. Okay, so you're asking for 4. Okay, so what's your best offer you can take on that house? If you want cash.
Well, I'm ready to move. If you could find me another place, I would be willing to do 350 to move
I mean, I'm
quickly.
sure I can find you another place.
Okay.
You know, so you can cash flow and I can cash flow. And if I can sell you another place, that's even better for me.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so you're looking at cash flow, so 350 cash. And you're
Yes.
good to go.
Yes, sir.
All right, you ready to sign the contract?
Yeah, if you give me 350, I'll be ready to move forward.
Okay. So 350 seems reasonable. I can write up a contract and I'll send it over tonight and I'll give you a call in the morning. If you have any questions, we'll fill in the blanks.
Perfect.
Sounds good?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Good doing business with you. Have a good night.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. Alan.
That went pretty smooth. I should have gave you a little bit harder time about closing costs and then my headache fee for having to talk to you during dinner and stuff like that, you know, but I don't want to mess
That's
it up.
okay. I'll spoon food you. Don't feed you. Don't worry about that.
Perfect. Perfect.
The only one thing I was thinking of is like, maybe if his wife needs to be there, if she's part of the decision making too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, but he
like,
didn't throw that in there. He didn't throw it in there, so I didn't ask.
well, but that could come back when you send that, and then he says yes, but she was on board.
That's okay. She won't take much more convincing.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been married.
My plan is to go for a long camping trip and sell the house while we're gone. So you can ask some more questions like that.
There you go.
So
Well,
if I
no
could
lie.
clean out your house in a week and give you 350 cash while you're out of there, would you be ready to move forward? I said, yes, sir.
Yeah, well, he's already told me he's ready to sign the contract. I just went with the flow. But you're right. This is a correct way to close, and there's always something new to learn. So
Because you did really good. I don't do a lot of role playing, so I'm not very good at all. So I'm just here learning. I've learned a lot in this last week just listening to you guys and sitting back. Like, I don't know, I've been trying to explain it to people and I'm able to explain what I've been listening to. So that's, one step forward.
Awesome.
yeah, no worries. I got to close with you in 10 minutes. That's ideal.
Yeah. Giles is ready to have another beer. He's set. He's ready to go.
There you go. This one was getting warm. Had to be quick.
Let me ask you. So what do you do after this contract is signed? You reach out to Carlos to find the money?
No,
Well-
you should be able to find your own private lenders. It's not
Yes.
hard to do.
Yeah, or a buyer if you're gonna wholesale it. However, whatever your exit strategy may be.
All right.
There's investors all over the place. Just advertise your ass on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's not rocket science. That's very simple, actually.
Yeah.
Ben's in here. He's got a lot of connections with lenders and stuff like that. So he's a good person to reach out to. And
That's
he
a
does
good stuff, this Carlos.
and he does gator lending as well. So if you would say, if you would need, because you would have to put, once you get that signed, then you would have to get EMD money down too.
Yeah.
Because until that EMD money's down, you really don't have any skin in the game. So you got to get that EMD down as soon as possible. They like within 24 hours usually.
Yeah.
So then once you get that, then you'll have your inspection period. So you'll have, 7 business days, 10 business days, however you structure it in your contract, time to get in there to kind of look at all the nooks and crannies and things and get an inspector in there and see if anything's going to jump out at you. And then after your inspection period, you'll have X amount of time to close escrow. So in that time and in your inspection time, you'll either find your buyer or get your lenders lined up and all that stuff.
Gotcha. But before making the phone call, then you have to have in mind how much you can pay for the property. So you do your research before making the phone call.
Correct. Yeah, you always want to have your exit strategy in mind.
Yeah.
You
So
usually want to have your buyer lined up.
Yeah, or you did your market research and you're like, okay, I know there's a lot of investor activity in this area and they're buying at 65-70% of ARV. Then you have an idea of, where your target is going to be, that where you could find someone for that.
Gotcha.
But I
But
was
then-
always, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was always told that don't do your research until you actually have a deal. So
I don't know. I mean, that you could do it that way too, because find a good deal.
Wait, but how am I supposed to find the deal if the deal has to do with the numbers? So I'd have to look into it to know.
No,
it's a
so
deal.
the gentleman who just asked that question, if you have a list of people that you're calling, you're not researching that 50 people in your dialer, are you?
Yeah, of course not. So basically, I guess with more experience, you will have more of an idea of what you can pay for that property.
Right.
Well, the thing is, you can get lender, but they don't know how much they're gonna offer you. So let me put it to you in a blunt way, honey. Okay, you never wipe your ass before you take a shit. I mean, it's a weird analogy, but it's the correct way to say it.
Mhm.
So you always want to be ready.
Kiara, calm down. My bad.
You understand?
Yeah, I got you.
I think, yeah, and if you're cold calling like off a list, you're probably like cold calling a targeted market, right?
Oh, there we go. I didn't know that we was talking about like a list like that. Because
I
in
think-
that case, if you're saying a list, then yeah, the list that you're pulling should already be critiqued to some type of buyer that you have. You shouldn't pull a blind list and just hope that somebody will buy something from you.
But what are you? Okay, I don't know if that's what the gentleman was asking or not when he asked that question, but I was just thinking that I always heard that when you're dialing, don't go and waste all that time on research and then they say no to you. No, I'm not interested in terms. No.
Oh yeah. 4 pillars then. That's what it is. You got
Yeah.
4 pillars, everybody.
Yeah, you would want to qualify them first. And then you work on the numbers.
Yeah, I have a hard time doing that. I'm a knucklehead. I like to get straight to it. I'm like Giles, you feel me?
I used to do that too. I wanted to research it too to be prepared.
Yeah, I'm not
think-
gonna lie to you. I'm probably one of the people that can show you that, like almost everything that I do. Oh, I got that weird ass thing in the background, but like almost every property I look at, I have like a certain formula and like a way that I write all this stuff down. So like I almost, yes, to be honest with you, for if somebody gave me 50 properties, before I call somebody, I look at it and I damn near come up with, I have to write down who it belonged to, the phone number, the address, the bed bath square foot count. I'm looking at ARVs and comping it almost, you feel me, seeing how much they're asking for it. And then once I know that information, I go into giving them a call and then figuring out where their motivation sits at. Because once you ask for the motivation, you're gonna know if you're gonna continue to call or not. And then
Yeah,
that's
I'm gonna
when you-
jump in there real quick on this one. So I think the answer to that question, I know I did it when I was first new. I was kind of like, man, I need to know my shit before I talk to these people. So I don't know, so I at least know what I'm talking about. But I think, as you get more calls in and you start to get more familiar with how to comp and do all this stuff, like Carlos and I, we go on the fly. Like we'll get on the phone with somebody, and as we're talking to them, we're doing research at the same time as we're talking. We're multitasking all the time. So there's times where I don't know anything about a property, but as I'm talking and I'm getting information out of them, I'm doing my research at that same time. So eventually, it's gonna become like second nature, where you're gonna be able to multitask and be able to do your research at the same time as you're talking and qualifying. Because if you spend half of your time researching and doing all this homework, but you don't really get somebody to tell you, yeah, I'm looking to sell you my property, you just spent time researching a property that you're never gonna buy or wholesale. So you gotta, kind of get, used to, doing research at the same time you're actually on the phone. If this guy says, yeah, I'm interested in selling. Okay, cool. What's your, what's got you interested in selling it? And at the same time, you're typing in, on Zillow and all these, websites that you're going to be doing your comparables. Yeah, I do see a property here that's sold in the area for, 325 or whatever it is. And you're just kind of freestyling, but you're typing in, just like if you're taking notes, but you're using your computer to start, copying, get that conversation going, and it's multitasking basically.
Mm-hmm.
I like
So if
that.
that answers, yeah. So if that answers your question a little bit, again, everybody's gonna start off. Some people are not good at multitasking and they have to do a little bit of research. And some people, you'll learn to adapt to it. It just becomes second nature. After a while, you're gonna be able to look at 3 or 4. Like when I first started watching Carlos talk to a seller, he had like 5 different sites up, and I'm just like, dude, how the hell are you looking at all this shit at the same time while you're talking and thinking about what you're gonna say next? But it becomes second nature, and it becomes easy after you're repeatedly doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, no worries.
No, good answers. Well, there you go. Is that all the answers you guys have at the moment, or questions that you have at the moment, or can we help you answer any more?
Yeah, let me ask you one more question. Like on the rehearse that you guys did, the first one, he was asking for $1,000 per month for 36 months, and the price that he was asking was 400,000. So after $10,000 down payment, the remaining was 390. How come the 1,000 per month was 4%? Like, how do you calculate the percentage, or how do you come up with the percentage right away?
Okay, so in that circumstance, that the interest rate wasn't counted in. It was just a number that was thrown out there, $1,000.
Yeah.
They haven't come up with the percentage yet. But that's something they're gonna discuss after the fact.
Yeah, of course, to make numbers, right? Put them on paper.
Okay, yeah. But if they're gonna do 1,000%, if they're gonna do 3 or 4%, it's gonna be what you're looking about $30 or $40 more a month. So if it's 4%, it'd be 1,040 that she's gonna be paying a month to the buyer, to the seller. I'm sorry.
So the percentage will be on top. So the percentage will be on top of the 1,000.
Yeah, it'd be on top of the 1,000. Yeah. Does that answer it?
So it'll be $1,000 per month at 4%. So it'll be 1,040, and that will be
Be
for 30.
1,040.
And then at the end of the when you have to do the balloon, you still have to pay him $390
You
if he's in,
pay the remaining balance.
no, the remaining balance. Okay,
Okay, you
Gotcha.
got it?
yeah, gotcha.
Okay. Awesome. And so Carlos just got back.
Well, guys,
So,
you guys finished up or what's going on?
No, I wrapped it up in 10 minutes.
Wait, you're the best, man. I'll be
Yeah.
able to see what's up in the
He made it too easy for me, so it was, the
recording.
Little Q&A.
You guys had some Q&A? That's cool.
Yeah,
That's good. That's good. Did we do a role play or just Q&A for the last 15, 20?
no, we haven't done any role play since then. We've just been doing Q&A.
Okay, cool. We'll do a couple role plays till 5 o'clock. We'll do them. Let's see. What do we have? About 30 minutes. Let's do 10-minute slots. So, okay. Let's see. All right. Who's in here? Hey, Michael, you're gonna go next, okay?
Let's get it.
All right, cool. And then Anthony, you're gonna be a seller, and then you guys are gonna switch roles, okay? Anthony, you got time, or are you on are you doing some fatherly things?
What's up, Zoom user?
Yo, give me like, I need like 10 minutes.
All right, cool. So Mike, you'll be the first end buyer,
Mhm.
and then I just need somebody who can help me be a seller.
Oh, you got too many volunteers. Let's go. Nobody
pick
wants to
somebody.
jump in,
I'm gonna
huh?
pick somebody out of all the people I'm pointing at right now. I'm gonna pick one of you guys. If you want to do it.
Yeah, we're gonna call you. Yeah, party.
All right, Zach, you're smiling at me like you're waiting.
I'm
Okay.
down. I'm not a seasoned like Scotty, so, or any of you guys. so.
Scotty was one of the best sellers up the par right now. Good seller.
Scotty's a big deal in our group. I know that. But he was talking, he let me join a Zoom this morning that he does for somebody. He was talking sub 2. I'm like, damn, the guys that I've been working with really know this stuff and it might benefit you. And so it's cool that you helped him out right away. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thanks.
no, I could tell he sounded a little bit seasoned. I mean, how he was responding to Ronnie. You know, he has a little bit of experience for sure. I don't know quality of strategies he knows, because being on the
Yeah.
phone is one thing compared to actually knowing strategies. He might know some good strategies. Didn't know the one I just taught him though, but
No,
he knows
nope.
some strategies. Another thing is too, you know, you put him as a seller on the phone with me. I mean, you know, he would have realized right there and then that he's in a different mentorship from where he's at, and he can see the
Yep.
experience as well. So Ronnie did a good job on him too. So Ronnie, are you in any creative financing mentorships?
No, I'm not.
Just this one, right? Just free one, right?
Yeah, mm-hmm.
You
Like,
see,
I'm
he
always
sounded
on.
pretty damn seasoned and if he's a big dog in the other mentorship, I mean, that's what the power of creative financing fucking does when nobody ever hears it, and we're in a group of people now who understand you. But you go and put me into a group of people who've never heard it, you're like fucking looking at a unicorn for the first time. That's what happens when I was 2 weeks into wholesaling and I closed a couple deals. And I'm like, this is awesome. And then a fucking video of Pace Morby comes up literally and just talks about how, hey, are you a wholesaler? Don't you hate it when you can't close your deal because your wholesale offer is too low? Let me show you whatever. He starts talking about, look, with me, you can buy properties multiple ways. There's 1,000 ways to skin a cat, multiple ways to close a deal. And I was hooked. I was like, I'm going in right here. And once I got in, I was like a fucking kid. Like the first time as an adult when I walked into Costco, I was like, oh shit, this is like a candy store now that I'm an adult. This is how it is. When I jumped into sub 2, I was like, whoa. And that's what happens a lot too. And I get on a lot of regular phone calls with cash investors that are very experienced and they just don't know creative financing. I got on a phone call. Josh sent me over a lead with some lady who came out at the Clever Summit. She was like, almost has $1 billion in assets, bro. And I schooled her on something for 10 minutes in creative financing, to the point where she was like, fuck this shit. I make a lot of money doing multifamily. I don't care about this, but the thing is, I sat down and educated her, me being like 6 months in at the time or whatever, 6.5 months. She is almost $1 billion in assets under management. And she was like, what? I don't understand creative financing like that. And it's totally fine. You don't need to get successful in real estate. But that's the show. Just a couple of days or a couple of weeks with Miss Ronnie just working with us, what she's picking up. And another good thing is she asks questions, no matter where she might even think in her head, this might be, such a small question to ask, or this could be a dumb question. In reality, you get that question out of the way and you don't have to think about it. Get them all out of the way. I don't give a fuck. You know how many times I repeat myself. I think any educator or leader repeats themselves multiple times a day, multiple times a week, per month and year, forever. How many times is Pace, if you guys are subject students or at least get on the free Zooms, how many times do you hear him, holy fuck, I got to repeat this shit again? I was on a Zoom with him like on Saturday morning at 5 a.m. over here and with everybody. And I remember I was asking him a question and someone asked a question right after me, and I see Pace literally answered his question right after me. I was able to see the guy who in the chat, right? So then I copy and paste 5 minutes later, the same fucking question. Pace is answering everybody's questions like he's using the chat. And then he goes and he then go ahead and miss my question again, and he gets the one under it. So then I asked the fucking question one more time. But at that time, when I was copying and pasting, I understood that he was coming up in the story to answer the question that I was answering, that I was writing. And so by the time I put that shit down there, he was like, yo, Carlos Reese, just fucking take your microphone off of mute and ask me the damn question. And he goes, literally, man, you couldn't wait for me to just tell the story. You had to keep asking the question in the sideline. She put me on blast at like 5 a.m. I was laughing. He ended up answering the question because it was.
Yeah, I was on that Zoom.
Yeah, Ben was on the Zoom.
Yeah, that shit was funny
Take
as
yourself
hell.
off the fucking mute right now. Like, all right. I wanted a question answered. I didn't give a fuck. I wanted to know the damn answer. And he was already coming to answer it. It's just I wanted to know it. So being an educator, you repeat the fuck out of yourself. So I don't mind it. Just ask questions. That's how you get help.
I do that all the time.
What's up, Joel? How you doing, man?
Doing good, Carlos. I'm just about to call. I just put a sticky note on a multifamily apartment right next to me.
Hey, that's so cool. I just told Stan that I'm switching now the majority of my, not like the majority of what I purchased. I'm still gonna have a buy criteria for single family homes, but I no longer am really gonna spend a lot of time educating myself with my studies, books, podcasts, audibles in single family home. I've now switched everything. All my YouTube podcasts, audibles are all multifamily and just about multifamily and commercial books. So now I'm just getting into that space. I just reached out to the Brileys, Carolyn and
Oh, they're awesome people.
yeah. I'm gonna set up I'm gonna attempt to set up a meeting with me, them, the Muds as well. And I just text them and let them know in a group chat that I'm coming now. I'm in their space now, and I can't wait to work with them. But I've devoted all my time now going forward to multifamily. So I told them that I wanted to sit on a Zoom with them, or asking them, right, waiting for their response, if they would like to sit down and game plan, because they're sub 2, we're sub 2. They're doing the same things that we're trying to accomplish. And we already have a good relationship. So now that I'm here, I might as well, hey, let me catch up to speed. What do you guys know? What are you guys doing? How do you guys look at things? I probably don't have as much value to them at this current fucking moment, but we happen to sit down, we have a conversation. I start to learn. Me being me, I'm gonna go all in like I do on things, and I'm probably gonna get there in a good time frame, and I'll be able to figure something out where I'll return power to them, because that's the way I like doing things with change value. But that's where I'm at. I'm ready to rock and roll.
I'm also focusing on that line.
Yeah,
And
bro.
now I'm also trying to do direct to seller, some foreclosures and code violations here in Texas in my area. So I got a whole list of it. It's a little bit confusing how to talk to them. I'm gonna be honest, because like they're more savvier than the average homeowner, but same time they're easier to talk to than the average homeowner, in my opinion, because the way you can connect with them with owner financing and all of those things.
Yeah. Are you like devoting a lot of your time into multifamily? I've learned this, that they're basically, you know, one's like a business, right? The multifamily, they're all businesses, but one's like a really cash flowing business that makes a lot more money.
Exactly.
They're a lot different, and you definitely need to take time, right? Like how I tried it when I'm doing single family homes over and over and over, and then I would post, hey, I'm looking for multifamily, or just underwriting Friday. I can't learn like that. You know how much I don't remember on the next Friday, though I understand it, but here's a couple of reasons why. Because behind the scenes, I'm also not dedicating my education to multifamily. I'm not spending any additional time besides Friday on multifamily. I'm not doing anything additional, and that's why I don't understand when Stan starts to talk or Stan starts to present some shit on the calculator. I'm like, why am I fucking lost? And so what I told Stan was, all right, we're gonna partner up, Stan, and this is what I'm gonna do now. For me to fucking actually bring some real value, I'm just gonna go all fucking in, and I'm gonna go and get all my books now, all my audibles, everything I read about is all gonna be multifamily. And that's the only way that I'm really gonna get it in a fast period of time, is if I just dedicate all my time, just like I did with single family. Same thing. So over the next 6 months, we're gonna get a whole bunch of shit done. Stan and I actually have a goal within 30 days, but in the next 6 months, we have some goals. So I want to get that shit done in multifamily.
You just brought up my problem. It's not, I'm not focused. Like I'm like jumping into foreclosures, or I'm jumping into single family. I'm jumping to multifamily. Then I'm jumping into something completely different. Like I think what you just brought up is my main problem. I had to focus 100% all my energy on one thing, and focused sharply, and then that's where it will grow. You know, the
thing is this: you can always add more to your plate, but finish what you have first. I finished single family home. There's still opportunity for me to learn strategies, but I finished it. I already learned a lot about it. You guys understand it. I might not have 100 homes, but I have a lot of strategies that when the opportunities are there, I could buy 100 homes. Now, I just want to go to the buffet and everything real estate, commercial real estate apartments, all on my 100%. Plate. All on my plate, so I can focus on eating everything commercial real estate, because it's hard. It is hard trying to split them when they're both new. I figured that because I know single family home confidently, not everything, but can get a lot of the normal stuff out of the way. Then when I jump about commercial real estate, I don't feel so confident. I'm not the one that I would say, put me first. I wouldn't be that guy, because a lot of your confidence comes from knowing how to do shit. And since I don't know how confidently how to do it in commercial, I guess, it would be harder for me to analyze it. Maybe because my brain's first telling me I don't know it. So am I worthy enough to make a phone call? Maybe how a lot of you guys think in the single family, I barely know this. Don't I make a phone call? No, my ass is still gonna make some fucking phone calls. It's just that I'm not confidently making them. I can't confidently sound the way that I sound on the phone, how you guys hear me every day. But until then, I'm gonna go and learn. I make my mistakes. There might be a broker that might school my ass for not knowing some terminology. All that stuff I'm willing to go through, because in 30 days, I'll sound like I've been in the space for a long time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm right there too, Carlos.
Yeah, and use your resources.
Yeah, 100%.
That's huge. Like me and Ben are partnering up on this fourplex.
It's Ben and I. Fuck. Sorry.
Ben and I. Damn, I didn't. This was English class.
Sorry, I'm just playing. I wanted to say that to somebody earlier today. I was like, "Hey, motherfucker!" I was just pretending.
It's always you and the person. It's always Ben and I. I attest to that.
So the homie and I.
Okay, so you and Ben, or Ben and I, whatever the fucking way. I was just fucking with you. Go ahead.
So we are purchasing, partnering on this fourplex, and both of us are new. We don't know anything of, we know a little bit about multifamily, what you and Stan have been teaching us. But so we did, what we thought our numbers were and everything. And then we reached out to Stan and be like, okay, this is what we think, and Stan double, triple checked it with us. And so like, it's just, it makes it so much easier when you can use your resources. Like ask people, like if you know someone smarter than you, ask them if they can help you. Like,
Yeah, 100% smartest idea. That you don't have to know 100% how to do the deal. You do a couple parts, right? Lead generation, Josh was able to find it. He also did the acquisitions part, locked it up. Ben's finding funding for it, right? Two parts of the deal. Now the part about actually strategy part, you have 30 days, bro, to close. You got 30 days to learn the shit. It's not hard. You know, now that you're learning multifamily, all you're going to learn is a couple things. How's it going to cash flow? How much money do you need to start off? Okay, cool. Is there already automatic cash flow, or do I have to renovate it to cash flow? Once you know that, all you know is, okay, what's actually the first step to get these done? I was the same way. Once I was nervous, the first deal, that's why I partnered out at first too, because it was a big, wait, I can lock up deals confidently, get good deals, but I guess I just don't know what's next. What's like the next step? I'm nervous. And you find out it might be, hey, call a general contractor in there to go and get you a bid. Go get an inspector to get you an inspection. So it could be the fucking next steps after escrow. Oh, okay. Or it could have been like you needed a lender. Go make a proposal. Go get a lender. All these little things we're nervous about. They're simple, but we're nervous. That's all it was. That's what it took me to, hey, let me partner up with somebody that's experienced that can walk me through some shit. Glad that I met the guy that I did, honestly, because he's not just your average Joe. He's pretty solid. And so super happy I met that guy.
yeah, we are too.
Yeah, bro. We were talking like all day about we're game planning our a business, and we're gonna he already does, but we're gonna put something together where because he does a lot of oil, and I'm gonna jump into it with him, but he gets a lot of leads like I do. So what I game planned was for him was, bro, why don't we just do what I do, like how I leverage myself with my own, and I basically teach sales. He needs like a sales team for oil. And so I just kind of game planned with him and said, what if I just take, because I want to get into it. It's not going to bother me from single family or multifamily, really. It's only going to be like 1 or 2 days I'm going to learn for it. But what I'll do is maybe next month, Saturday, Sundays, I'll learn the oil. And once I understand it, I'm already a solid salesman. You don't got to teach me how to create pitches. I can create all pitches, even in oil. I don't need people's help for shit like that. I could then do what I'm doing right now, how I'm making a sales staff, right? And I can go ahead and then just educate some people that you probably know because you're in the oil game. Let me coach them how I coach my team right now in oil, and then we'll make money doing oil. No matter what, if we do it that way or not, I'm still going to be in oil with him by like January. But I just told him, why not fucking leverage ourselves, dog? I'm already, one of my whole goals is to create a sales firm for anything. And so if I need, somebody's going to give me a contract, okay, give me 30 days to then teach the people just that subject. I already trained them to be beast mode. We've seen it. We've seen it yesterday with some newer people from last week who came in here and did some role play, murdered it, right? It's not hard. Gio off the spot killed it because he's here to hear how we're doing things. He could have totally learned from somebody else who could have been worse, and his first shot could have been good for those guys, but then he comes over here and it sounds like crap. Guarantee you put him and another person who doesn't know creative finance, you put him there, he'll probably sound better than everybody. He sounded great already. It's a lot about the same thing I bring up. You got a tree, and who you learn to cut the tree with is definitely like very vital. So if somebody gave you an axe, you can cut a tree for sure. A lot of people use an axe, but you learn to use a chainsaw from somebody who only cuts trees with chainsaws. You're going to cut down way more trees at a way quicker rate, right? I don't know why I'm just ramping off. We should be doing role play. My bad.
I like it.
I'm fired up. I like it too. Fuck it.
I like where we're going with this.
Yeah, I would say help me too is like being transparent too. The guy had a problem with the contract. He's like, well, I don't know why everything's abbreviated and this and that. I said, well, I don't know why it's like that either, Paul. That's why I got a transaction coordinator.
There you go. Dude, it's the truth.
It was as simple as that, you know? And then he was like, oh yeah, okay, well, that makes sense. And I was like, well, yeah, that's, you know, and just being transparent about everything. Like that's, you know, that's one thing he was worried about. Like if we were going to wholesale the deal, and I told him, no, we weren't. So, and just being real.
Yeah, another thing my other wholesale friends do, they're like, if they don't know an answer to something, they're like, okay, let me talk to my partner and let me get you the best answer I can possible, right? Is that okay with you?
It's okay with me if it's okay with you. Yeah. But you'll learn all that shit. Where are you, Joel? Where are you? Because I know you work with a lot of people and you're a good connector with a lot of us. You know, basically.
Yeah.
Everybody knows your fucking name. Jamil, Brent Daniels, fucking Pace Morbid.
One
all
thing I'm
fucking
good
talk
at
about
here,
you.
I'm good at connecting people. That's one thing.
Good. You better. You know fucking the whole world in this business.
Yeah, but I'm
What's up,
not
Joe?
good at
Find
talking
me
to
some
sellers.
buyers, baby.
Yeah, dude. Joel knows. Joel's like the most connected person that I know. All the biggest names know him. There was a part where everybody was annoyed of Joel for the first like 4 months of me learning real estate and who the hell Jamil was and all the additional extra people
It
besides.
was
And
like
then now everybody
February.
talks really good about Joel. Like, oh, this guy's like a staple in our business for being so fucking consistent. Like literally, it was on a live. Jamil was talking about him, and Joel wasn't even in there. The one time he wasn't in the fucking the YouTube, and now they talk really good about us. His consistency, you know, he's like a stat right here, man. It's funny.
Yeah.
All right.
Good to have somebody good. It's good to have somebody on the team that's good with social media.
Yeah. Let's do this. Let's give somebody a 10 or 15-minute window. Close out the role play.
Hey, do you want to do a little role play? I'm about to call a seller, so just want to warm something up.
You want to? Okay. Fuck it. If you want to do that, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll be the caller.
Okay, so you're gonna be the buyer. All right,
Yep.
cool. All right, fuck it. Michael, do you want to be the seller?
Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll just do it this way. Let's roll it out. I'm gonna go ahead and put myself on mute. But Joel, it's gonna be an ARV is 500,000, and if you were to bring up the year build or not the year build, the build out, it's 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,000 square feet.
All right, that sounds good. Ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hello, I'm looking for a Michael.
Yeah, that's me. Who's this?
This is Joe. I know this call is out of blue, but I was calling about a property I believe you own on 123 Main Street. I just want to see if you are interested in selling your property over there.
You know, I've been getting a lot of calls, so I've been considering it.
Oh yeah, I know that your area is busy. All right, so I'm calling today because me and partner we're local here. So we're interested in buying homes in your area. And so we got your contact info from public data. So it did indicate some sort of reason you may want to sell. I'm not sure about that, but so we're just reaching out to homeowners in the area and all. So I would like to know, tell me more about your property. What's going on with you? So why were you even considering selling?
Yeah. So I actually just bought a new house, and so that one's just sitting right now, and I'm not sure if I want to rent it out or what I want to do with it quite yet.
So yeah, so tell me a little bit more about the property, like what's going on with it, or like is it vacant? How's the condition?
Yeah, it's vacant right now. We lived in it for 15 years. We renovated it and made it real nice when we first got it 15 years ago, but we hadn't touched it since. So it's got that normal wearing that happens, you know. Everything works fine as it should. There's not much that would probably need too much work. I mean, yeah.
So
Is there anything specific you wanted to know?
yeah, I mean, like, so no major remodeling last 5 years or something, like, so it's just completely vacant at the moment, and you guys moved out of it, right?
Yeah, we just moved out, so it's been sitting vacant.
Mm-hmm. So no, there's no tenants or anything on that line?
Not yet. Like I was saying, I was thinking about renting it out, but I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to deal with tenants or if I wanted to cash out.
I mean, the rental market is really good right now. If you see, like, because the interest rates are really high up, the home prices are down. I mean, you could have, I'm not sure why you didn't sell when the market was up, but so right now the rents are up. That's one thing you can think about. So if like overall the condition is all right, we can say. How much repairs do you think it needs?
Like, say it again.
So like how much you think you need to put into repairs?
Oh, ooh, yeah, I'm not sure. That's a good question. So what I was thinking was if I wanted to rent it out, I was thinking I would probably have to do all new paint in there.
Mhm.
And then I was thinking, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the floors because it's got carpet in all the rooms, but I wasn't sure if I was going to put new carpet in or just make it all hardwood floor. So
Mhm.
I'm not quite sure. I hadn't looked into how much all that would cost.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So how long were you thinking of selling it? I mean, if you are going to sell,
Mhm.
like what are you just gonna just like take the money out of it and just get the cash out and then close quick, or like you're like you can wait on it, or like
Well, with it sitting vacant right now, I'm kind of losing money. So that's one reason I wanted to rent it out. But if I sold it, I was thinking about maybe I'm not sure what I would do with the cash if I sold it.
mm-hmm. Exactly. The market's unpredictable right now, and interest rates are up. That's
Yeah.
one problem.
Yeah.
Have you thought about listing with a realtor?
You know, I did think about that. I haven't reached out though. I mean, you know,
Mhm.
life gets busy and I'm a pretty busy guy, so I don't know if I would have time to do all the showings or even
Mhm.
I figured if I would have to put that work into it to, you know, do all the painting and the floors, then I might as well just rent it out at that point.
Mhm. So you're mostly a busy man, right? So like you
Yeah,
don't have
I'm a
much
pretty
time
busy
to
one.
take care.
Right, exactly.
No, I see what you're saying. It's especially at this time, all the repairs and things that need to be done. So let me tell you this. We're a little bit different from realtors. So like, I mean, we don't do any commissions, all right? So
Okay.
like if we in a perfect world, okay, let's say we buy this thing quickly, all right? All cash, as is, and no commissions, and I'm paying all the closing costs. So like, how much do you think you need to get out of the property?
How quickly could you buy this thing?
I mean, we can do 30 days and under, or how fast do you need it to be done?
Hmm.
We're all cash, like I said.
Okay. Okay. Oh, well, I
Mhm.
think I'd probably want to be close to like, I don't know, 470.
Or 70. Mm-hmm. So 470 is a little high in my opinion, because the market has went down. You know, the interest rates are up, buyers have pulled out, and it looks like the US is headed into a recession.
Oh yeah.
Is that the best you can possibly do? Because my partner is not looking at 500. You know, he's not looking at 470.
Hmm,
He usually wants to go low.
okay. Yeah, I
Mhm.
don't know. I think, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Then
maybe.
go ahead.
I think I really like that 470 number. I don't know. If I went a little lower, then yeah, no, I don't think I could go much lower.
Mm-hmm. Then we do have you ever considered something like terms for your property?
What do you mean?
Like selling your property on payments, right? And I don't think you have heard of this before, because now your equity is a little bit lower because now the market's down. So like
Yeah.
let's say, so it's been done like a lot of times, subject to. So like have you ever bought a house, then 6 months later you have like a new servicing company that's servicing a mortgage, right? They took over that mortgage.
Yeah, that happened with this house.
Yeah, that's called subject to. Someone else bought your paper slash your mortgage, and it happens like all the time. But the big boys do it, and you don't even think about they're doing it, right? So
Hmm.
I'm essentially asking you to give me your mortgage, and I'm asking you to approve it, whereas everyone else is doing it behind your back. And same time, you can, since the equity is lower, you can take it over. We can
Mhm.
take it over. We can give you a little bit more for what you want, depending on if it's cash flow, since we're investors. And then it would be like a win-win situation. So essentially think of it like this. I used to be a contractor, right? And I have this
Mhm.
F-150. It's a really nice Ford truck. Like honestly, it has like 300,000 plus miles. I loved it. I used it for my company. I used it for my work. And then at a point, there came a time I had to sell it. My wife was not happy with it. So like
Mhm.
I go on the Kelly Blue Book and I find the value is only like $5,000. It's like, come on, man, 300,000 miles. This truck is running so nice, and it's running my whole contracting business. So I was like, if I post it for 5,000, am I selling it for 5,000? I'm like, no, and I'm not even gonna sell it for 4,200 because they're trying to work me down, right? So I was like, screw it. I'm gonna put this on Craigslist for 10,000. Well, do you think I got a call? Of course not. But 10,000, the truck looks worth 10,000, but because of the mileage and everything, it was worth 5, right? So after 3 months, I didn't get a single offer because obviously it's not what's the truck worth, right? And then my
Mhm.
wife comes in saying, "Sweetheart, I love you so much, but you gotta get rid of that freaking truck. It looks so ugly." So then my company, so as I was like, my company, then the 5,000, I could just like sell it for, and then she was like, "Then why don't you take payments on it?" My wife just brought this idea up for payments. I was like, man, this is such a genius idea. So I was like, how about this? So I simply changed one thing and went back to the ad and said, I'll take payments for my truck. And did I sell that for 10,000? Absolutely not. But guess what I sold it for? This truck sold for 12,500 because I was willing to take payments on it. And I gave somebody else the value of getting into it with like a small amount, right?
Mhm.
And so they could take that truck and produce the money for their business, for their family. So I was like, so I ended up selling it to that gentleman who owned like a painting company, and he said, you know what, for me, it's not about the payment, it's about the fact that I can get this truck and go make $6,000 or $7,000 a month for my family, and ultimately I gave them the payment options, and they got in
Mhm.
for like a small amount. So over 2 to 3 years, I ended up selling the truck for $15,000 when you add the interest in it, and that's 3 times what the truck is worth. So, Mr. Seller, so Michael, what I'm basically asking you is like, what terms mean is essentially if you're willing to finance your home to me, I'm willing to make payments to you so that we can work out a price that cash flows for me, because this market's really tight. So like, it's basically my fee between me and you for like It's like it's what I'm giving you essentially for
Mhm.
to so that you can so I can cash flow and you can sell your home for a much better price. So it's
Hmm.
basically you name your price, I name my terms, and we move forward and we enter into a contract.
Okay. So
Mhm.
if my price, if I want that 470, then what would your terms be?
That depends. I want to know what type of terms are you looking towards? What terms work for you? How can I help you get where you want to be, right?
Hmm.
Because I know you're going to continue to get lowball offers, and investors need to make a profit if they're paying all cash. These people are crazy, especially in this market. I have a friend who goes 50% off the damn ARV at times. It's crazy.
Huh. Okay.
But is this
Well,
something you'll be interested in? I wonder.
I think
before
I
we
could.
continue.
I'd be willing to walk down this path of terms.
Mhm. All right. So here's one thing. Since we're gonna be doing a little bit some more underwriting about this property. So it needs some work, right? It needs flooring, paint, and all that done, right?
Hmm.
All right. So I'm gonna connect you to my partner. His name is Carlos Ruiz. He's really professional. He knows how to help people out. And so
Hmm.
if you have some time, like tomorrow, do you have time around 12 p.m. if I call you?
I think I'd have time.
All right, so I will get my partner to explain you and work something out together. All right.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah. So I'm gonna forward you to Carl, my partner. We're gonna see if something can work out and we can go from there.
Okay.
All right. That sounds good, right?
Sounds good.
All right, Michael. Nice speaking to you.
Nice speaking to you. Thank you, Joel.
All right.
And scene. How do you think you did?
I got stuck in between because this was the first time I heard a little bit, lots of pauses for the first time. It threw me off a little bit, but I tried as much as I can. I'm not very well aware of terms, so
All good. So good. You're practicing, man. You're training. Do you typically practice at all or no?
nope, I have not practiced.
It's all good. Just simple question, And
This is like my first
it-
time actually explaining terms.
Oh, it's all good, bro. Where you're gonna get strong is in the repetitive action as it starts to get consistent, or hearing somebody repeat maybe a similar story over and over and over, or even hearing Pace Morby's story repetitively over, so then you can memorize it in a short term. It's the hardest thing for a lot of cash buyers or cash sellers to understand is seller finance. Sometimes it's just something they've never heard of, And so the easier that you can simplify it, the easier it is for them to kind of be open to it. I think you did a good job maneuvering through it. For sure, you need a little bit of practice here or there just to adjust, get a little bit more comfortable with yourself. But overall, did a good job.
Mhm. One thing I really wanted to practice more on was digging more into their motivation. It's like he stopped in between some parts and I kind of got thrown off a little bit,
Yeah.
He did a good job as a seller. That because a lot of sellers are exactly like that, from what I experienced. So it's like I need to learn to dig in a little bit better. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, you're fine. This is what I suggest though. If you have time, I would if you're trying to be are you trying to be a direct to seller? Or are you trying to close deals, be in acquisitions, or no?
I'm trying to go for acquisitions. Yep.
Okay, so for sure you want to be diligent and be respectful to yourself. Pay respect to yourself by coming into some type of training, maybe with the powerhouse, maybe with well, you're not in sub 2, so you can't jump into theirs, but
Yeah.
there are a lot of other people besides me from sub 2 or that have their own little group. I definitely recommend you jumping in there a couple of days consistently, or 3-4 days consistently a week, and get as much practice in there. And within 2 weeks or less, you can sound so much better, which is not that you're bad. I'm just saying that you can improve yourself. And I think that if you really want to get into the acquisition side, you should take it serious and get into some actual role play where you feel confident. Like when you feel good, where at the end of the phone call, you feel really good and you're just like, cool, whatever little feedback I'm going to get is just additional, but I know that I felt like I did a good job.
Yep.
That's all I recommend you to do though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you did a good job, bro.
All right.
Cool. Good job. Does anybody have any questions? Should we do some live calls, guys?
I did
Well,
like your
I'm fun.
storytelling. Joel, I liked your storytelling.
Mhm.
That was good.
It's a Pace Morby story, the F-150.
Yeah, but it worked.
Good
I
story.
thought.
The Muds had the whole rebuttal sheet, so I was like, I was just reading off of that. It's my
Oh,
first
yeah.
time even knowing the story. You wouldn't believe it's the first time I even said that.
F-150 story is a good story.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
Joel,
same, really, it was like the way he like explains it was that he had this vehicle, an F-150, that had a lot of value to him because of what the vehicle did for him, which was allow his family and him to make a lot of money for his business. And so the reason why he wanted to sell it for more money, though he knew that it was worth $5,000 on Kelley Blue Book, was that he had an emotional tie to it and he was already up, meaning he already had money. So he wasn't in a rush to just throw it away. Now, his wife was getting upset that it was still in the driveway. And so she said, why is it still here? Gave him the idea to sell it on payments. And as soon as he posted it up, I'll sell on payments, within like 24 hours, he had, or a few hours, I forgot, but he had a lot of people calling in. And the reason why he was able to sell it, with like interest and make more money wasn't because of the value of the car. It was the value the car was bringing to the new person buying it, which he was in a position where Pace was when he had bought that car. The guy buying it was a new entrepreneur doing drywall and didn't have a vehicle, but he had jobs lined up. And so the guy was willing to make payments because the guy was going to have a whole functioning business if he were to buy this truck. And so he was willing to pay more because of the value the truck was about to give him and his family. And so if you can learn to break down and say, just like this house, you want more money, and I totally understand it. There's value in the house. And then you can relate. So you want to relay the story back to it. So I understand you want more, you can get it. And this would be a way that I can do it and pay you more money. And then, if you don't bring up interest, hey, well, why don't you look at this as a real investment and make a little bit more change on top with some interest? So many ways you can put yourself into deals, or keep yourself into deals. Yeah, it's a good story that he brings up. Real good shit.
Yep, definitely a Pace Morby story.
Yeah, let's do it. You guys want to? You guys have any leads I can call up front, or to my lead?
Hey, Carla. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Michael.
No, you.
No, I insist.
Okay. So I'm talking to this guy right now who bought a house back in June. He bought it for $150,000 in Columbus, Georgia. And he's a contractor. He flips houses, but he doesn't have time to get to this one. And so it's just sitting, costing him money. So he's willing to sell it. He wants 170. He bought it for 150 2 months ago, and he wants 170. He says ARV is 275. And he says it needs about $40,000 in repairs.
170 is what he wants for it. You bought it for 150 cash?
Yeah.
So he doesn't owe anything, like he's not on hard money or anything, because he.
Oh, you know what? He probably did use hard money.
So he's on hard money?
Yeah.
What if we did this? Because same thing, I mean, it doesn't sound too exciting with the market and everything, with the
Mhm.
rates and how everything's gonna take forever to get renovated and stuff. What
Yeah.
if we just like did like a novation with him?
Oh, it's okay. Okay.
Or like, hey, what if I took this over from the where it currently stands, meaning like subject to, I'll take over the lien sub two, and I'll make those hard payments and do the renovation costs. And then once I flip it, I'll pay you the 170 you're looking for. And because you already took care of the hard payments for the next few months.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So like if you took over those payments, then
So he's too busy to get to it, right?
yeah, he's too busy.
That's his fuck up, right? That's
Right,
his own fucking
exactly.
fault for not managing his time, right? Well, here's
Yeah.
the thing that you can learn too. Well, hey, you're too busy. You overstack your plate over here. I'm not. I would need this at a lower number than you're asking for. Maybe 150 would be the number I needed at. But one way that I know that I could do this is, what if I just bought it sub two, meaning that I take over the existing debt right now, and I'll make those hard payments. I'll put the renovation in for the next few months. So whatever his hard payments are for 2 or 3 months, you're making those payments. You're putting in the 40 grand, and you're listing it for 275 or whatever.
Okay.
That would be like something that's way more beneficial for like all parties, for like you and.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, somebody, if he were to like maybe find the only thing that can beat that for him is if I was an actual home buyer that he was talking to, and I'm like, dude, I'll go and fucking pull a loan for 170 if the house is worth 275. But I'm not
Right.
living it, right? So I'll tell him, look, the only way that I would do it is this way. Now you can get it sold for 170, probably easily. Just go list it or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, just make sure the ARV is right. The 275 is right. Even
Yeah,
even if you want me to talk to him, or we can do this call live if you want.
I mean, I'm down,
How down on a scale of 1 to 10?
bro. I'm like a 9.5.
Bro, you're like down, fool.
I'm
Down.
I'm down, fool.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. You wanna call live, or you want me to do it?
I kind of want to see you in action.
I'm always in action. Let's do it. I'm always in action. Okay, so what's this guy's name?
His name is Kevin Frost.
Wow, what a name. Kevin Frost. All right, cool. What's Kevin's number?
Kevin's number is area code 706
Uh-huh.
984
984
5121.
5121. Maybe I should stop saying that out loud on these recordings, huh, since we're putting people's public information out there. Maybe Josh, we can edit that when we post it up. Next time I'll just have you text it to me, or even the side.
I should have done that.
Yeah, because I was on pop up. That was my fault, anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm calling him right now.
Yeah, you gotta outbeat me. I just like, hey, somebody text me this morning, dude. Check this out.
Let me go on silence here.
Somebody texted me this morning. Was like, yo, what's up? Good morning, OG. This message is just to let you know that I don't care where you are. I don't care what you're doing. And I don't care how many contracts you think you got. Today, I'm going to outwork your ass today. So you better get your ass up and get it, because you're not going to beat me. And I just put, hey, good morning. Ha. Nice try, bro. If you really knew my fucking schedule, you would think twice about sending that message to me. But I love the friendly competition. Yeah. Outwork. Yeah.
Okay, so this was on the CRM with Nick.
Yeah. Okay.
And-
text me the address too, so I can just.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It was
And
go ahead and tell me.
Huh?
Go ahead and tell me it was on the CRM with Nick.
yeah, the conversation was initiated with Jason, and then I just picked up the conversation because it was left sitting.
Okay.
So I picked it up. So as far as he knows, Jason has been messaging him.
All right.
Is that unethical?
Did you talk to Jason? How long ago did Jason work the deal?
So it was just the intro message, like, hey, I'm reaching out about this property on the 28th, so 2 days ago. But the guy replied, and then I hopped in later on that day, and I've just been messaging him since.
Got you. Well, I mean, the number's here. I'm ready to go. In reality, I probably would have asked him, but same thing, you know, how serious is he? He drops the ball. This is the part of sales. I came from car sales. They would be like, you have 24-hour access to protect yourself, or 72-hour access window. If they respond to you in 72 hours, anybody is free game. That's how they taught us. Even if you're friends with a fucking person, doesn't matter. But right here, I'm not going to be rude. Let's work the deal. And then, you know, if we happen to come to an agreement and we make some change, cool, we'll give him a fee or something.
Yeah.
For touching it, for sending the text, saying hello, whatever, you know?
Okay. I wasn't sure how all this worked, so I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Amber, no, I'm not in Arizona. I'm in Palm Springs, California. Is anybody in here from Arizona? Nope, but we got John Kim and Stan Lopez, both from Vegas. We have Anthony that's out here in Palm Springs. Josh is in Ohio. There's people all over the place. Are you in Arizona, Amber? Nice. Are you in Phoenix? Nice. Phoenix is pretty cool. It's another desert, like where I'm at, Palm Springs. I went there a lot when I not a lot, but my father, he used to have some business out there, and once in a while my mom would take me out there to go see him. And so I went out to Phoenix from time to time. It was pretty cool. Been to the downtown area when I went out there this year with Ben and somebody else, Leo. It was pretty cool. I haven't been there in a while. All right, cool. So let me go ahead and check a look at this property. $734 Quail Creek.
Should I send him a heads up?
Yeah, that's fine. Just let them know that, hey, that I'm gonna shoot them a call.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a big fucking house. He's saying 40 grand because he's not paying for his own labor.
Probably.
3,000 square feet. Let's see. 2006 year build. I like Georgia though. Georgia's cool. Na 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 na. I see the 270 price and 290 price, all that stuff, but it's on the other side of a main road. I think he's just stuck in a pickle, this guy. All right. Let's see. One website says 2,300 square feet, one says 28.
Check the property assessor website.
Let's see. All right, let's just call this guy, see what's up. I don't think his house is worth 275. I think all the houses that were worth that were on the other side of the main road, but we'll see what's up.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, Kevin? This is Carlos. How you doing, man?
Hey, man. Good.
Good. And you had spoken with, I believe, either Jason or Michael about selling one of the properties that you have. Let me see. It's off of Quail Creek,
Yeah. That's 734.
734 Quail Creek. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of caught me up to speed a little bit too. I believe that you had recently purchased it. I think, a general contractor, and you just don't have time to get to it, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha, man. You just overloaded yourself, or what happened? You bought a couple homes and just got.
I mean, yeah, I do new construction also, and
Mhm.
like they're my main focus. And so I buy, ones that I can also flip, whenever they come up. But I've got probably 4 houses that I'm flipping that I've started working on, and I've got 3 new constructions. And so I've got this one and one more that I bought in May that I hadn't had time to. This one I did get over there and like clean it out because the last guy that lived there, all his furniture and everything and all was still in the house.
Okay.
So I've done that, but that's all we've done to it. I had a dumpster delivered and had some couple guys go out there and clean everything out, and I ain't been back over there since.
Got you. Are you? Did you use cash or like hard money or?
Nah, that's not really an issue.
Oh, okay, got you. What I was saying is you're not on hard money on this one, are you?
No, I'm not. No, it's
Okay.
not.
Oh, okay, cool. I was looking at it, and just because I buy in Georgia, I don't live in Georgia, I live in California, but I buy in
Okay.
Georgia. I have properties in Funnel Hill and in Valdosta. I'm working on actually one running, I think it's called like car or something like that.
Yeah.
So I buy properties there. It's just that I was trying to run some comps myself, and I did see some of those prices that you were naming off. I think like 275. I seen them on the other side of the main freeway. Do you have any comps that are like within the neighborhood or maybe on the same side of large roads that support the 275, 300?
I didn't research it myself personally. My realtor, he sent me, I think, an email possibly. He's the one who gave me those numbers.
Okay.
Once I bought him, I told him, I said, hey, just in case I ended up having to list this with you, go ahead and run me some numbers. And that's what he came up with. And so I could probably go back through the email and see. Sometimes he'll attach the houses with them. And honestly, sometimes he just gives me the numbers. But, around here, and just because of the market, everybody's getting at least 100 a square foot, but mostly, in the normal regular parts of town, it's 120 a square foot. But this house is, it has some new construction you go through kind of a neighborhood to get to this neighborhood. And this neighborhood itself is kind of small. I think it's actually called Quail Creek. But it's like a court with a bunch of nice big brick homes in it. And the neighborhood before it is an older neighborhood, but they're all still really big houses. But so those houses are not bringing as much per square foot as Quail Creek, because Quail Creek was all built around 2000, between like 2008 and 10. And all the other ones were built probably in like 1980 or so. And then there are actually, at the beginning of the old neighborhood, there was probably 10 lots that nobody ever built on, like at the end of a road. Some builders started building those. And so there's going to be some new constructions, and those are probably, I hadn't honestly looked them up, but there's probably about 10 of them that are under construction. And, some of them he's done with some of them, and so people have moved in, but those might throw off the other numbers, and they might be 130 a foot. I built some kind of in that area that I sold last year at around 125 a foot. So, but, this one, it's kind of if you look at the neighbors around it and all, they're all about the same size. They're all about 25 to 3,000 square foot, and they're all brick, really nice, well kept and all, but none of those have sold like probably this year at all. So you kind of have to go a little bit further out in order to get comps on it.
Yeah,
But,
and I was looking, so I buy a couple ways, and I think I'd only be interested in maybe like 2 ways doing this. Not by using my cash up front. There are 2 ways I would do it. One way I would do would be possibly maybe partnering with you, and I bring my crews and fund the renovation, and then we just list it and we split it we pay the realtor, and then we give you the number you were looking for, and we take the excess. That's one way that I'm open. Or I'd be possibly open to some type of term option where I give you some money down and make payments over time type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see either one of those working, because if I had time to get to it, I can just do it. And that's the thing about it. You know, if nobody buys it from me, I'm not upset about it. You know, so I'm really not trying to like push it. You know, obviously, you know, if you look it up, I paid like right at 150 for it. I've got about 10 in it. I redid the roof once we got it, because the left side of the roof was kind of left off the house whenever the previous guy lived there. He had dementia. And so he was replacing the roof, and then his family moved him out. And I guess the roofers wasn't going to get paid, so they just stopped. So, you know, the left side of the house didn't have shingles on it for like a year until I bought the house. And so then we had to replace all the wood decking. And that's where most of the repairs are coming from, because the kitchen and all is granite still, all the bathrooms are granite, all the cabinetry is still good everywhere. But the left side of the house, which is over 2 bedrooms and a bathroom, just totally just water damaged. So, you know, we replaced the roof on that side, tore out a bunch of sheetrock, and used up 3 dumpsters, and then that's where we kind of left it.
Got you. So how much do you think it would cost me to get this ready to be sold for something like 275? With, you know, obviously me paying labor since I'm not a GC, but what do you think it'll cost me?
I kind of estimate for somebody else. Now, for me doing it with my crew, it would be less and all, but I estimate, for like, if I'm selling it to you, honestly, I think it'd be around 45,000.
Okay, so 45.
And I think that's a really high estimate. You know, if I'm doing it with my crew, I'm looking at around 25,000. And not that I get that much greater, you know, price than anybody else, but like, you know, I've got a sheetrock here that I've used for years. I don't know if you do. Like my sheetrocker, I know, you know, I pay around 17 cents a foot for my sheetrock, you know, for my sheetrocker to come out there. And then from that, it's just flooring. I'm right at $5 a foot at the most for my flooring for LVP. You know, and I would go ahead and do flooring, not just the left side. And so, you know, you can go ahead and figure right at 2,800 something square feet. So, you know that $5 a foot, that, you know, that's going to be your flooring part. Except for you would have to back out, like the kitchen is all tile. Kitchen breakfast area is tile. I would leave that. It's all in good shape. The bathrooms are all tile, so you wouldn't have to redo those. It's mainly just the living areas and the bedrooms. So, you know, it might be, let's say, 2,200 square foot of, you know, LVP probably.
So what I'll do is I'll look at this. Do you think that if you had some time tonight or tomorrow, that you'd be able to try to dig up those comps that realtor that you work with gave you, so I can take a look at it?
Right now it's like 8:30 here. We're sitting at a restaurant, but whenever I get home, probably about an hour.
Okay.
I know you're on different time zone, but I mean, I can pull them up in my email and, you know, text you or give you a holler back, see if you got time to talk.
Yeah, let me know. I'll see if I can actually help you out on the cash way. And if I can't, I'll just tell you what I can do, and we'll go from there. Maybe we can help each other out or not. We'll see.
Sounds good, man. I'll hope I got you in about an hour.
All right. Enjoy your dinner.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey, Mike.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is, you know, maybe I'm not seeing some comps. Maybe, you know, he's done a whole bunch of deals, like he said, and he works with this realtor that, you know, probably isn't giving him wrong information because he works so many deals. And maybe if it's 275, 300, this could be a deal. I know a buyer in the area, it's like a fucking stud. He buys like 30 properties a month.
Jesus.
That has his own team that may be able to make this work. Hey, Ace, what are you doing? Be quiet. You'd have he might have an opportunity to get it done. Now it would be a very close deal. So all I would have to do is see those comps, and then I can just call this buyer and run it by him. He's also a sub-2 student. I talked to him, so
nice.
Yeah, so it could be a possible deal cash. I want to at least let him know that I'm going to try. And then the next step would be, like how he said, oh, well, he's not using hard money, so he's sitting on it. He doesn't have to worry about payments.
Yeah.
Now he can do the flip, or maybe we can figure something out where we can just split it. Fuck it, if he doesn't want to do it, I mean, I'm sure that I can assign this to somebody for half the profit out of the deal, you know?
Yeah.
One or the other, creative as fuck, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put my dogs over there. They're ready to eat, so I'm gonna put them away. If you guys have some questions or whatever, you guys want to do a little bit of Q&A around for yourselves, go for it. I'll be back in like 5 or less minutes.
Okay.
Anybody has any questions or anything they need answered?
I got one if anyone knows. So I have a lead here. They got like $1,000 lien on their property. They're like 62K behind on it. And there's an auction date set. It's a foreclosure for 9/16/22. I don't know much about how auction dates work, so I just would have to try to get in there and get it under contract before that auction date. Does anybody know about that?
Typically, you want to get onto pre-auctions, so you have something to do about it. Carlos may be able to answer more once it gets to auction dates. The only thing I know on my end is that you want to get before it gets to that stage.
Or it gets an auction date, yeah.
You can
still
stop
an
make
auction
an
up
offer
until like,
on it.
yeah, you can stop an
Maybe a
auction up
good
until
offer.
like the day of or even the minute of. They can call in and do it. It just depends on whether or not they're getting their money. A lot of times you'll have to catch up the arrears, have everything in place before it'll stop. But I would have either Carlo. Are you in sub 2, Josh?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I'd have Carlos probably dispo kind of into the sub 2 group. There's a few guys I can't remember by name that are just auction and foreclosure masters because it involves a lot of being on the phone. But you can get that date canceled and then give you time to take care of all the contracting.
Okay, awesome.
Carlos,
Yeah, I want to be able to help the seller out, but I don't know much about the auction date and like, with doing all the arrears and everything too. So cool. Thank you, Dustin.
Yeah, no problem. It's not as spooky. I mean, if it was like within 24 hours crunch time, like the auction is already like going in place, like that's difficult. Like that's gonna take you probably being on the phone the entire day just to probably get that. And several people have done that. And they're pretty good at it. But that's why I said, get to the people that have just been through a couple of these because it is, very unique.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's set for, a good ways in the future, you shouldn't have much of an issue.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Dustin.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You got information for somebody who has more knowledge.
I knew somebody would know something here.
In this team, there's always somebody that knows something. That's the name of the game. That's why you're part of a team.
Right. I was speaking to Matt. His eyes weren't healing at the pace or speed that they were supposed to. So yeah, so he's a little behind. But we'll probably either this weekend we might be able to push it, or probably next weekend we'll figure in a good time to get him live, and then we'll start scheduling out some other awesome people to come in and provide some value.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible about his eyes. The same thing happened to my grandma. She had that surgery done this year.
I'm gonna tell him that's how you explained it. Same thing happened to my grandma. No, yeah, he's just has terrible eyesight. Now he's got 20/20. They said he probably wouldn't get it, but he's like, I like the vision. The healing kind of sucks, but
right. True.
But it's awesome.
Yeah, but it helps with sales.
Yeah, as long as he can see. He was having tons of his eyesight was so bad. His contacts were, he kept getting like ulcers or something on his eyes. Yeah, a lot, and it just kept happening. So he needed to get LASIK.
Time to get rid of the content.
Anybody in here got access to Privy?
Yes,
sir.
I
I
got
do.
it.
I
What's up?
do. Yeah. Oh.
Well, damn, everybody got it other than me. Oh, goddamn. Oh, no. Oh, damn. No, I was just saying. I
Y'all
ain't
are
got
funny.
it yet. Oh, that was because it was so fast. Everybody was like, yeah, I got it. Yeah.
What, you ain't got it?
Nah,
Some people
yeah,
don't
I
have
know.
it
What's
in here.
up?
It's not like there's a limit. It's not like you're pulling records or whatever. So it's just a monthly. If anybody wants to pop in and just utilize one account and split it or whatever, that's
And
easy.
it's not that
I would like to
expensive,
do
what
that.
I hear. I don't have it yet, but
Yeah,
it's
I
not
do
that
too.
expensive.
It's like 99 a month. So if you're not
Yeah.
using it regularly, yeah, you could just split it up with somebody.
Because I ain't gonna lie, I almost asked somebody the other day if I could use access to it, and I'd give them like 10% of if I close anything.
I'll take you up on that deal.
Like, see, that it sounds adequate though. Like, there's no way you could lose. Like, I'll use it when you're not using it. Make some offers, get some
Yeah.
good stuff, and then
It
if
is-
I close something, whenever I make something, you get 10% of it.
It is absolutely amazing for on market. So yeah, just grabbing all the realtor information, all the MLS data, the comps that are available in the MLS locations.
It's really
they're
that
changing.
for me, the heat map and the way that the comps are. And I got to use like it a little bit on somebody's, but I didn't get to use the filters and stuff. So I was
Filters are
trying to see
great.
what that, and I was like, oh yeah.
It's also really good because then all you got to do once you find a deal, you put in an offer, contract gets accepted or whatever, is you just got to search, like literally pencil in the same little pencil area
Yeah,
around for comps and investors that purchase properties near it within a 3 to 6 month time period. Grab their detailed information or the real estate agent that listed it for them. Contact them because likelihood is they're going to be purchasing in that exact same area or they'll be open to it. So there you got your buyer.
Yep. That's what I like.
I noticed that the buyer is getting harder and harder to get. Are y'all experiencing that, or it's just me?
I mean, it really
Dispositioning?
yeah, I mean, it just depends on it. I mean, with the market, obviously, with hedge funds, some hedge funds are popping back into the scene right now. They're coming back in. Some investors a lot of them are fix and flippers. So with the market uncertainty right now and the dropping, some of them, their buy boxes are a little different. So you just got to figure out where their buy box is. But that's the great thing about reversing it, though. Find the buyers, figure out what their box is, and then go search for that, because then you've got your buyer already. If you just try and spray and pray after you get the deal down, then you're trying to fit into this buy box that doesn't align with everybody.
Yeah, that's the hardest, because I been helping people move their properties that's already have the property, and that's the hardest, is that I'm trying to find through Privy. And
do you have a specific area that these properties are in, or do you have, or is it just kind of sporadic, you're just helping and then there's a random property and then you're trying to use your Privy to find a buyer?
Yeah, normally Tennessee and Colorado, like Nashville and Memphis and Denver, and then I go into Privy, and then but the inspection period is so fast that when you call, then it's like bam, I have another part. They'll send me another one to try to offload. But that's the hardest, because it's and they're listed, so the feedback or the I shouldn't say it's an objection from the buyers, but they're like, oh, I don't do our on market. It's been, seen already. And so that's the objection I normally get. Or the year built, a lot of these properties are like 1920s, 1950s. So I have noticed a lot of buyers are being very picky about the year built now. And another one I get is that, the market, they just stopped. They're not buying anymore, or they're going to wait until the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why having a good list of buyers you've already developed a relationship with, because then you can have some fly off and you just got to fill the spots. As long as you have that relationship built, you know that they're not over leveraged and they can continue buying.
Yeah.
But then also you continue to feed them deals they're confident in, then even if they aren't buying on the regular, spray and pay method from random investors they haven't done business with, they may be doing it with you. So that's a good way to kind of keep the flow going. But if you're on a regular area, what I would do is just go either like Batch or Smart is Kent's one, and just go like the last 60 days.
What's
Like
the
if
name
people
of
are
it?
buying
Smart?
Smart Data, yeah, is
Oh.
Kent Clothier's one, and Batch, you can do Batch, and you can do PropStream or any of those. You can find local investors that bought in the last 30 to 60 days. If they bought in the last 30, obviously they're probably either they're maybe leveraged on what they purchased in the last 30 days. Chances are they probably aren't, and they can continue buying, or the last 60, and reach out to them, figure out what their buy box is in the areas that you're primarily trying to dispo these deals. And then, if it fits around the buy box, then maybe you can go back and renegotiate the deals a little bit if it's just a little bit away from the buy box of the buyer, or negotiate some terms. At least that way you can, dispo the deal and you already have the buyers in mind that would fit a particular deal that somebody's trying to dispo to you, and you can just go connect the two dots. Yeah, you pull the data and you can skip trace the information on them, or using Privy, you can find the last 30 days somebody that bought it. If you can't find the investor's information in the purchase, if it's an LLC, then you can try and track that back, or you can just call the listing agent or the buyer's agent, and then you can try and develop that relationship to get the information for the investor and then track that back. That way, I think that'll actually solve a lot of your problems.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would definitely recommend that.
I haven't done the last piece. I have been doing the other pieces, and it's funny that somebody mentioned an LLC. I think it was Yusuf, about the LLC, and it's funny when you call them up, they're so surprised that you found them. I'm like,
that's a good thing.
they're like, yeah.
Another bit would be what was I gonna say? Sorry, my brain's not working right now. I had a topic on finding disposition. I lost it. It'll pull back around here in a second, but I would finding those buyers, develop those relationships ahead of time, and then you'd just be able to kind of disposition out from there. There was if you know anybody that is utilizing what is it? It's got the cartel mode or whatever. Investor Lift. Yeah, that's a good option. The low end options, obviously, you get some data and you can reach out and you can create the lists and disposition to those buyers. But honestly, like the one key thing that's just like turning God mode on that would be the cartel mode, which is super expensive, for somebody that's just doing a couple deals. But it's definitely worth it. That would be the easiest way to disposition. But
is that more expensive than the $500 or $5,500 a year price tag?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the middle one is like 55 a year. The first one's like 30 something. Cartel is the top one, which just kind of releases the floodgates of everything. You have access to everything. But yeah, I would just track back the buyer's agents and pull some lists of active buyers in the areas that you're primarily getting those deals, and then reach out to them and develop those relationships. And then also, even if you haven't developed some relationships, just start text blasting and start getting on calls for those ones, just as if you're trying to find sellers, because that's, I think, most important, is finding those buyers, because that's where you get paid.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Yep. There's another method that Kent really likes. It involves a little bit of cash, not too much. Is he likes to set up kind of an IVR. So it gives you more of the control in the negotiation scenario of finding a buyer, but you would set up a mailer, like a 5-point mailer campaign that goes out, setting
What's an
yourself up
IVR?
as, say what?
What's an IVR?
It's just an automatic answering system. So it's just like, press 1 to do this, or,
Okay.
to reach the extension number this, to do this, to do that. And then you can set up like a call center or somebody else that would answer the line or something, obviously making yourself seem as more of a professional business, an established business versus you answering the phone or not answering the phone or answering the phone like, hey, what's up? Instead of very professional. That's why it's good, like dedicating a specific number per campaign so you can answer, appropriately to the incoming calls. But setting up that IVR and then doing the mailer out to the buyers that you pull from. So let's just say for a specific area, you'll get 400 to 800 buyers and you'll skip trace this list and you'll send the mailers. You'll get push 1 out, 2 out, 3 out, 4 out, 5 out. So it's out over the course of probably like 5 weeks or whatever. Out of those 400, maybe you get 30 or 40 that actually call. But these people are now calling you. You're not calling them. They're calling you because you brought them in off of the value that you delivered. So when they call you, they're going to reach an IVR. They're going to reach a system, and it's be like, hey, you've reached so and so's office, or you have like somebody on the other line, an assistant or whatever, saying, of course, yeah, they're not available at the time, but let me go ahead and set up an appointment. And then you would get them, and you would call them back, and at that point in time, you're almost interviewing them as a buyer calling you. So then you kind of have that more of the dynamic shift where you can actually negotiate better terms on deals. You can get their buy box, and obviously you don't have to try and dig for questions or answers. The relationship dynamic kind of changes quite a bit. I've seen a lot good success on it, and obviously the dynamic of that relationship right out the gate skips a couple steps. You don't have to get that first deal in with them because obviously they're reaching out to you and seeking you in order for them to take you seriously.
Yeah, so that kind of qualifies from there.
Yeah, so pulling the list and skip tracing, a small list like that, cheap. Mailers, maybe that's tops, $500 to $1,000, maybe just do a 5-point. If you do a 3, maybe even less than that. But that would give you solidified like a good relationship with probably 15 to 30 buyers in the area that you can count on that are obviously seeking you and actually looking to buy. So
That's good stuff. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks.
So you have to have like a website, and you have to have systems in place for that to have the IVR, right?
Yeah, I mean that's really simple. Those are really fairly inexpensive, and like a website that you maybe even I would say a landing page specifically that you develop for the mailer that you put out, and the URL would be tied to that, as well as the number would be tied to that specific campaign, so that anything that's coming in off of that number is for that. So you're not calling or answering a phone because everything comes through one phone or your personal phone, and you have this weird voicemail that's not professional, and you answer the phone like normal, like it's your cousin instead of a professional answering machine. So you can actually answer it appropriately. But then, also you want to be in demand. So if you don't answer immediately, or if you answer immediately and you're like, oh no, I got time, like you've devalued yourself immediately right out of the gate because, not a very busy person that is doing things all the time does not have time for that. They filter their calls. They're not available at a moment's notice, and they have to earn or schedule their time with you in order to get that. And that's why the IVR kind of system is set up and established there. You can get those pretty cheap. I'm actually, prior history is marketing, and I have another agency that I do a lot of marketing and automations for. So like REI Reply, if anybody's ever used it, is built off of a Go High Level system, which is built for agencies. But it's kind of like a car. It's only as good as the person behind the wheel. There's a lot of inefficiencies and lack of actual creativity in the REI Reply system. I'm building something out a bit better with better integrations and easier use for the average investor. For like you guys, my other mastermind groups or whatever, I want to beta it. So if you guys don't have current systems that you're using or want to test it whenever I actually feel, it's working really, really well in my system, I'll just give you guys free access and you guys can let me know how it works. But that'll have pretty much most of what you're doing, like the dialer, SMS, voicemail drop, calling, everything, pipeline management, individual numbers, just legit pretty much everything. So
Dude, that's fast.
yeah, it's working really, really well for my system right now. I just want to work out some kinks and make it easier. The first thing I learned as a marketer is my brain is not the average business owner's brain. You give them too many routes to take and it just gets confusing, and the inefficiencies cause issues with revenue, and issues with revenue cause loss of clients. So making it super, super simple for you guys to manage, where the training and the culture is primary. And I don't want to kind of overwhelm you guys by not having that established first. So when I open it up, I'll just make some free accounts for everybody. And obviously you guys can cover your calls and SMS costs and stuff. And we can, see how it works for you guys. If you like it, awesome. If you got some feedback, it's ways for me to improve, because I'm tired of everybody having 10 softwares for the same freaking thing that costs $200 a piece.
Yeah.
And and it's just a waste of money, time, and energy when you
Yeah,
can
that would
handle
be
everything
great.
in one place.
Yeah.
Yeah, work out the kinks, and that is not how it works. But on a side note there, the cheapest and the most inexpensive way to advertise yourself is social media. Okay, go to Facebook, advertise yourself on Facebook. You can, I know there's pay advertising on there as well. For less than 30 or 40 bucks, you can advertise yourself on there. I'm just throwing out numbers out there. It could be less. I know it's not more than that. Having your website, if you're gonna start a website, Vistaprint is a less expensive way you can go. And they start off at 25 bucks to
That's something
do
I'm
your
also
own
going to
website.
have. So inside the CRM, I'll have pre-built real estate websites with a click build, with a drag and drop build. So you just kind of change your logo and information and set it all up. Google My
Vistaprint
Business.
is the one I've used that quite a few times. It's called
Yeah.
Vistaprint.
So like I said,
Very
I'm an
inexpensive.
advertising agency and SEO agency and everything. So Vistaprint's good. They just do, it's kind of a cookie cutter system. They set it up on WordPress a lot of
Exactly.
times.
It's for somebody who doesn't know how to set up a website, it's very easy to set up.
Yeah. But I'll have
'Cause they explain everything out there.
some pre-built ones that are customizable that you guys can go in and use to develop your website. You just have to import your domain, so you can just have that up and live and ready. Throw a number in there and have it clickable. But
Sweet. I bought it.
What's up?
Haven't used it.
Your domain?
Yeah, I have it. I bought a domain a while ago, but I don't have a site yet.
Use Vistaprint. Set it up.
It's
very
Taken care of
inexpensive.
for you, Josh.
Josh,
As for
it's a
Facebook,
no-brainer.
guys, don't go out and try and just do lead ads. If you guys are inexperienced with any sort of advertising, or if you guys are just like, I'm gonna put something out there, don't tell Facebook that you want somebody to take a purchase action or an action a bit that will lead to anything like that. One, Facebook has restrictions for anything real estate, so you're not able to target specifically. So if you're not targeting for anything specifically real estate, let's just say you're actually just educating with an intent to educate and build an audience, that's technically not a real estate service. You're not targeting specifically for any sort of end bit. You're literally just educating, and then based on who interacts with your content, you can actually utilize that data, like who watched your content to 50, who watched your content to 75%. You can actually just segment that. If somebody watched 3 seconds of your video, they're not interested. Who gives a crap? Then you can
No,
segment that.
there's no video involved.
Okay.
It's just an advertising note.
Okay. But
There are
yeah,
a dime a
then
dozen on
you can
Facebook.
develop those audiences and then remarket to obviously similar people that have the same interest of those people that interact with your content. So let's just say foreclosure or purchasing homes or selling homes or whatever. You can just develop some content around the expertise that you guys have beyond the average person and put it out there as a video view. You can pay less than a penny per video view. You put it out to an audience of, like, let's say you geo-fence a specific area that is high in foreclosures, and you educate people. Like, let's say you do a specific education on ways to avoid foreclosure or getting their house foreclosed on. That's very interesting to somebody that's in foreclosure, and you don't need to segment that audience. But the people interacting with it are going to be your prime suspects, and the people obviously they understand their buying intent or the similarities of those people versus other people. You can create other audiences based on that. But yeah, you can then just geofence a specific area and just blast it. You can get less than a penny a view for $300. You can reach thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and then you can, continue. Then you can send that exact audience that interacted with it to, let's say, a direct response, or more of something that's actually purchased, or call me, or I'd like to purchase your home, or whatever. So you spent $300 to understand who your buyer is in that area, and then you can leverage that to actually tell them to do something. Instead of, if you tell it somebody that you want them to opt into something or purchase something or do some form of action, Facebook wants to charge you up the butthole, and they will. Then you're in a bidding war with other advertisers advertising to the same audience, and you will waste a lot of money if that's the first thing that you try and do. So
Just let them know that if they do that, it's nationwide for that price.
yeah, if you do nationwide, you'll be paying like 0.0001 for view.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say, sniper, do more of a sniper than, a nationwide, because if you're targeting hundreds of millions of people on a $50 budget,
Yeah.
you're not really going to get far. So,
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Who's
Sweet,
got
guys, and
dispo
then
for Tennessee?
Dispo for Tennessee?
Knoxville.
Knoxville. You got a property out there?
I was just talking to the seller, so I had a lead. So I was trying to make sure to see if this number that he's going, that he can agree to, is an actual good number or not, because I ain't got no knowledge of Tennessee.
Is that why you asked for privy? You were trying to look up comps?
Oh, not for that one though. I was just saying in general, I was trying to use Privy to just be able to use the amazing tool features and the filters to signify down what I was looking for, so I can make some of those on markets with some of the strategies that I have to get a quick couple of cash wholesales out, or possibly,
You can
work
try
on trading
Keegley.
leads.
Keegley has a office in Knoxville.
Yeah, that'd be good. But yeah, let's talk. I'll get you set up with that username. You can get in there and start doing things. I'll take you up on that offer.
Yeah, I really meant that though. Like I'll fuck around, I make a couple grand here, couple grand there. That's a couple hundred for him, couple hundred there.
Right.
I am not opposed to doing it. You feel me? That's all like it. Anybody, any of y'all want to give me some access? So whoever give me a login, just know I'll for sure, and let me know what times I can't be on it. I'll cross-reference them time frames with wherever you at time frame.
For sure.
I for sure, just so I can use that data good and then be able to throw some things out.
Dustin, do you have Investor Left?
I don't. I have friends that have Cartel though.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think I gotta jump off here, guys. I don't know if you guys want to continue, you can.
All right, no, it's about that time.
It is
Yeah.
about that time. What current CRM messaging service, pipeline manager, calling service are all you guys using right now?
I'm using Podio, and I integrated it with smartphone.
Okay, I know what that one is. Yeah.
And so my messages and calls get recorded in there. But I hate Podio.
Yeah.
And I would like to find something that is a little less like ugly and it's more simple and not. I mean, I've tried to do it really. If I would just pay for someone to build Podio out for me, then I'd be all right. But I tried doing some stuff on my own, and it was more than I really wanted to mess with. I was amazed. I was able to integrate the smartphone in there.
Yeah, they've built a lot of those systems that are the list pull systems, the comping systems. Like it is good as one of those, but when they did the other integration, like lateral integrations, and then some of the other services like texting and stuff, it's built out for like a dev. It's definitely not built out for like an investor. The average
No.
investor going in there to try and work things around. Yeah. What about
Yeah.
you? What about you, Dime?
Shane?
Shane,
What'd you say?
what about you? What softwares are you using?
I don't have any anymore. Old school. I'm Brett Daniels in the beginning. I have a I'm using a cell phone that I got from one of those government assistance programs that lets you be able to get the free phones.
You still got the Obama phone?
Yeah, I went to go
yeah.
get one. Not too like a week or two ago, a couple weeks ago. I went to go get this because I was like, I don't want to keep calling from my phone.
I used to have one of them.
So I went to go get one of these phones. It's hella big though. It's like a 6.5-inch screen. I use that phone to call and text people, and then I use my handy dandy notebook. I just have like a cheat sheet of a way that I write things out on it.
All right, we gotta fix that.
Oh, that's-
I'm gonna give you the absolute basics probably early on because with no systems, yeah, clean something up.
Yeah,
I-
it's like this. Basically, like people can
I
look at
use
it. I don't
Google
care.
Sheets a lot too,
I
honestly.
always like writing things down like this so that like no matter what or where I'm at, if somebody calls me or anything, like I have my
Yeah.
basic information down that I need and I can work everything from this.
I mean, that's great to always have, just not as a primary.
I know it is my primary though.
Yeah, and Google Voice, I mean, that's great, but you don't want somebody calling in and it's like the Google Voice subscriber. I mean, when you're trying to purchase their house.
Well, you do know you can add numbers to your phone number, right? To your phone.
Oh well, yeah, that's why. Well, I just went and got this free one, so I don't use my phone. I use this phone.
No, but you can use the same stupid phone that you had before. You can add phone numbers to it.
You could do like call forwarding, Google Voice and stuff, yeah, but still not scalable. How about anybody else? Lots of mics are off right now. Anika, Angel, Ronnie, Jesus, Jonathan.
I have used REI Reply, but I'm still kind of setting it up. And then I use batch SMS, and I am really messing up when it comes to getting that. I've watched videos and things like that. And then as far as CRM, I've done Podio, and now I'm in Lead Machine.
Okay, you're using 4 the exact same thing.
Hmm?
You're using 4 softwares that are pretty much the exact same thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm just wasting money, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk, because either I can get set you something up with like something super basic, or I can help you set up some of the things that you currently have. Because now like you're probably doing like split things between all 4. So the inefficiencies, because they don't integrate because they're all the same thing, is just all over. Plus batch, as good as batch is, they do upsell their texting. So you will be paying more per message going out, which is costing you more than what you would need to be doing if you had like just a traditional primary integrated account that you integrated yourself. So there's those things as well. So yeah, I'm just aggregating information, but yeah, you're paying 4 things for the exact same thing.
Well,
so.
I stopped the I should have said I stopped the batch to go to REI Reply, but I still use batch for pulling lists. Then I realized Lead Machine does the same thing, so I just stopped batch all together. So now I'm pretty much on Lead Machine, which is I forgot the name. I can look it up on my email, but they integrated with someone, RealFlow. They integrated with RealFlow, Lead Machine, and then REI Reply.
Okay. Yeah, I could help you figure some of those things out.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah, I use batch and privy.
Yeah, list pulling is always going to be from something. It's not going to get rid of every software. So pulling the list, especially lists that are actually going to be, pulled good, because it's all aggregated information. All they're doing is just bringing in the umbrella of everything that they're purchasing things in from, and then buying it all at like cost, at like wholesale cost. And then every single time everybody else decides to buy that data, they just they pay their data off and then just make a ton of revenue off of it. But nobody wants to go buy wholesale when they're, you know, all of this massive amount of data on a regular basis when they don't have the hundreds of other people purchasing the data to pay for it. So yeah, as long as the data is good, yeah, batch and smart and all these other systems are still going to be essential. Skip tracing, obviously, batch does pretty well, and then they run you off on the DNC. There's tons of other skip tracing, kind skip tracing. There's another skip one, skip for you or something. You know, those ones are like 3 to 6 cents per skip, but they're pretty accurate. And good there. But yeah. You know, it's better than paying 15 cents. It's half the cost. So,
I think is batch is what, 12 or is it 15?
I think 12. I think 12 right now. But yeah, I mean, it gets up there pretty easy. A lot of them do about 15.
So which is the one that's more versatile?
Many. There's so many.
Yeah, that's it. You'll get lost in the sea of CRMs.
Do you mean CRM or skip trace? Which one did you mean? What's more versatile?
All the way around to get leads.
Well, I mean, there's a C. There's all kinds. The one that is best is the one that you use. That is literally the one thing that I tell all my clients, all my SaaS clients, and anybody that's interested. If you use Google Voice, awesome, great. If you use it. If you use batch, great. If you use it. If you're gonna get too overwhelmed and not use it, it ain't the CRM for you. Find one or find something that you're gonna use and you're gonna use efficiently and effectively, and then go with it. Like, it's not gonna be the same for everybody. This is why I'm trying to build mine, because to make it easy for people and integrate as much laterally and seamlessly that people just don't have to try and rebuild an engine just to figure out how to send a call or send a text.
Yeah,
No, I like that idea.
Because Podio, I like it if I had it all integrated and built up, but it's going to take 6 months to a year of education to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe not that long, but it's going to take quite a few YouTube videos.
Yep. Anybody else?
I'm excited about your stuff.
Yeah, let's link up to I won't be able to be on tomorrow's call. I'm a bit busy, but like we said last time, I'll be able to jump on and do some Q&As on some of the more financial credit, leveraging access to credit lines, personal credit, business, marketing, pretty much anything that we can go over at another time. But thanks for the information you guys have provided. It's going to help me provide a little bit more value as I'm continuing to build the system out. So Sean, we're going to get you a CRM because
yeah,
we're gonna stop getting you those paper cuts from flipping those pages.
Man, I'm pretty adequate with it though.
No,
To be honest with you, I'm pretty adequate with it.
Yeah, CRM's aside and everything too. Like, having a notepad is smart. You can't, just have that going on there. Having that is really good. Sticky notes are great. But yeah, we'll get you something, and we'll have you fill in the increased efficiency. But also, you would be surprised the headspace that you actually have gotten used to using and losing because of just the lack of trackability of just actually having things dispositioned or segmented to specific answers, follow-ups, and having those types of things automated so that they're not missed or you're not late or any of these things. Having that all just at your fingertips, pretty much done for you at the end of a call within a couple seconds, versus where's that sticky note? I was supposed to call that person back, or having a timer on your phone, which is awesome, but you totally had something else going on because you totally forgot about it because the alarm didn't show up until 15 minutes before, those types of things. So yeah, I'll get you set up
See
with
my
that. We'll get you
CRM?
going.
Hey, and I did want to jump in. I was on the call, but I did hear you asking me. I'm really new. So right now I'm using paper and pen. And I do have 2 second numbers on my phone, but I'm not really making calls. I'm really just trying to get the foundation that I need and a little bit more confidence. I'm working on like general scripts and making sure I have all the important things that I need to say when I do get on the phone. But when I'm able to scale and move up, I'm familiar with CRMs. And so I guess that'll be where I'm working to get to.
Yeah. It's great to get yourself out of the comfort zone. What'll get you out of the comfort zone of also doing calls, if you know, because you can try and perfect a script all the time, but the easiest way to perfect a script is to use it on calls.
Right.
So a great way to get yourself out of your comfort zone is to, set up a campaign in a CRM and press play, and it's calling, and then it's going to keep calling and calling and calling until you work your way through a list. Sometimes you just got to click and look away, or turn the mouse off and just keep going. But yeah, definitely pen and paper is good. I would say, yeah, just jump in the deep end. If you didn't see my VA in here, I didn't train him on anything like after the qualification process. And I told him, I was like, I want you to feel freaking uncomfortable. I haven't trained you on any of this. I know, but there's going to be comments in there. I want you to just go with it. And I want you to feel comfortable just falling over on what you don't know, because next time that you go just doing, qualifications, these other little things that are hanging you up, like, oh, well, I wasn't prepared for that, or the information didn't populate quick enough, or they threw me a curveball.
Right.
Believe me, those are going to be less important next time, now that you've experienced this, and especially since your heart was pounding and you had all that extra emotion going on, and it's burned into your head, because emotion it locks in memory. You're going to be that much better because you were able to just experience this tumbling down the mountain, not knowing what the heck you're doing. And the information that he did gather from it, from the feedback from everybody and just going through the process, is burned into his head now. And he was on fire on the next calls that he was on. The same thing for you. I think just get out of your comfort zone. Just don't give yourself the decision, and just kind of experience it. And I think the next time around when you come in, you'll be a bit better. Action is the only thing that's going to get you to the next step.
I agree, and I hear you, and thank you.
Yeah, that's huge. Like, I agree. Like, give yourself permission to fail. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can always keep role playing as well.
Yeah.
Role playing is
And I've
very
actually, I
because it
found
teaches
myself,
you-
when I am explaining to like family creative, I'm able to formulate a thought that makes sense. So I'm coming along, and I do just need to jump in.
Yeah, start slow, jump in for one call, then jump in for 2 calls, and then set up a 30-minute block where you're getting called. Because even the fun thing is, even when you get on calls right now, if you haven't made calls, you're probably expecting like, okay, I'm gonna make calls, and I'm gonna talk to somebody as soon as I press the dial button. It ain't gonna happen like that.
That's a lie. I made 7 calls today. I made 7 calls today, and I left 7 voicemails.
Yeah, so I mean,
blew me like completely. Was like, there's no way that real estate agents and them are like not answering the phone. Neither FISBOs. I was like, so like, is my number spam blocked or something?
Yeah, but it's a numbers game.
Right.
yeah, no, real estate agents suck at phones. It's like part of the job. It's like, here's this thing, don't use it.
It's a numbers game.
Right.
Also, Dustin, I've messaged you my number. I do gotta hop off this thing though. So yeah, just hit me up. We'll talk about that.
For sure. I will.
All right. Appreciate all y'all, man. Josh, we out this thing.
Nice sharing.
No problem, guys. I think I'm gonna dip out too, but I'm here for anything that you guys need, whatever I can provide. And yeah, I think just throw yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit, and then next time around on the call, let us know what you did to get out of your comfort zone. Because like I said, you're gonna hit a lot more voicemails, and so right now realistically, you're scared of maybe 5%
answer
talking to
machines.
people and
Right.
95% answering machines. So
Right.
yeah. And then I think, I mean, you may even you start feeling more confident just by, throwing some voicemails out there.
Right.
By the time you actually reach somebody, you're like, oh, it's a human. I'm so glad to talk to somebody. It just flows.
Right. Well, I hear
Oh.
you, and I will take that advice.
You got it.
Thank you guys. Thank you all.
Thank
Take care,
you,
guys.
guys. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, thanks for guys. Thanks
You as
guys for
well. Take care.
thanks,
See you
Dustin.
tomorrow.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye, Ronnie.
Bye,
Jesus,
guy.
Annika, Chris. Later.
The Waltons.
Every-